Welcome to the Lineman Lounge, hosted by Mike and Evo, calling their shots and being outlandish.
Breaking news from the Lineman Lounge. My fantasy football team just took a huge fucking hit. And that also makes it even more likely that the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell is about to be your starter. Latavius Murray is going to go there as well. Jesus, fuck my ass.
Get ready for the thickest podcast in the game. Coming to you from Hangar 6, where sleeves are optional. Strap in. The show starts right now.
¿Cómo están, bitches? This is the Lineman Lounge. We are live on a Thursday afternoon or evening, depending on what part of the country you are in. I'm Mike. To my left is Evo, and down below us we got the big man and Juice from the Cheapseats podcast. Very excited to have these guys on. We're going to be in another mock draft today, adding another podcast to the show. It's going to be very exciting. I've had a pretty good day. Today's basically my last day at work before I get ready to fucking travel out to Ohio. Get the hell out of the desert, and I'm excited, man. I've had a great day. Evo, how you doing?
Dude, I'm tired. I've been moved on to a day shift. I normally work in that night shift. I do not like this day shift stuff. It's bullshit. But I like waking up whenever I feel like it and then rolling into work in the afternoons and just doing my thing. But I'm glad to be here, glad to be doing a mock draft. I'm really getting excited for this actual draft coming up here in just a few short weeks.
Oh, dude, I'm super pumped for the draft. It sucks that the Browns do not have a fucking first-round pick. I know your boys do. The Vikings got one. So I'm still going to watch. Still got to talk about this shit on the show. But, man, I'm not going to – it's not the same when the Browns don't have a first-round pick. Normally it's because we've done something incredibly stupid to make our football team worse. This time we did something incredibly stupid to make our football team better. So, you know, that's the way it is. Big man, Juice, how are you guys doing on this lovely Thursday evening for you guys?
What's up, buddy? How you doing? You seem a little wound up today.
Oh, I am. I definitely am today.
What's going on, bud? All right, so, yeah, I'm actually doing the exact opposite as Evo. I'm going from day shift to night shift, so got you.
Nice. I'm going back next week, guys, so it's all good. I was helping out a buddy covering for someone on a day shift this week, but I'm done with this. I'm going back to the night shift.
Yeah, I'm actually
one for the birds.
So I love day shift. Once I get out to Ohio, I'm going to be on day shift for training, and then once I'm finally done with training, I'm going to be bouncing back over to a fucking third shift, so like 9:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually kind of excited for that. That'll line up mine and Evo's schedules a little bit better for this show. Maybe we'll get back to 2 shows a week like we had for a little while during the Christmas time. But yeah, the schedule switch sucks. I am super amped for you guys who are watching, or Big Man and Juice. I've quit my job. I'm incredibly thankful that I have quit my job. I love the people, hated the company I worked for. I'm not going to name names. But I'm super.
I can.
I mean, feel free. I'm very excited to get out to Ohio and kind of start that whole process. Move to a bigger city, start a new job. Gonna be a little bit of a pay cut, but I'm gonna have actual benefits, peace of mind. I'm very excited for that. So there's our boy. $20 is $20. I'm actually rocking the hat. He got this for me as a going away gift. Thanks.
Love it. $20.
Yeah, $20 is $20, man. You guys should check him out. I don't know if you guys do the whole video game thing, but $20 is $20. He's a streamer on Twitch. He does Call of Duty. He also has a YouTube channel called The Vanilla Gorilla Eats. He is a big ass white boy who loves to eat some food and gives awesome food reviews. So if you guys are not checking him out, you guys should absolutely go and take a look.
Yeah, Boy David's just a character. He's a wild dude, so he's a lot of fun to watch.
All right,
absolutely
check him out.
All right. So, kind of like we did last time on our show when we had our mock draft with multiple friends on helping us out. Big Man and Juice are going to help us draft today. We've already got a draft order set up that we'll be running through, and we're going to be running this on another screen that will pop up here for everyone to see. Running this at least off of what you guys see off of Pro Football Focus, off of their mock draft simulator. We aren't going to be doing any sort of trades because that would just take forever. And I see Juice over there sipping on some drink. I don't know if he wants to get someone like y'all three are gonna get like the Cleveland Browns to fucking trade some super large future picks and get yourselves back in or something like that to take Garrett Wilson or something like that.
So Big Man,
I may or may not be sleeping.
Go ahead, man.
I may or may not be sipping on some big boy juice. That's all.
Okay, hey, I don't blame you. I got a beer myself right now. Big Man is the Browns fan. Juice, you're a Cowboys fan, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe you'll enjoy the things that happen in this mock draft. We'll see. I don't think I gave you the Cowboys pick. I definitely did not. So I apologize for that.
Oh, he can take that.
Okay. We'll do a trade between us on who's making that pick.
Absolutely.
But guys, we got some comments coming in. Nick, thanks for the cake today, man, and the glasses. I got this badass little glass. I should probably put a beer in there instead of drinking out of the can.
Hell yeah.
Dave, yes, we know you love to eat. Big guy, we love you. Thank you so much. Are we ready to get this fucking thing kicked off? We ready to,
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Some draft picks?
Absolutely.
Ready to roll whatever you all are.
Let's go, boys.
All right.
So first on the clock is going to be me. I will be picking for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think this pick has kind of become a foregone conclusion. There was a lot of debate about who this could be when everybody finally declared is it going to be a tackle. And then this guy has kind of taken a leap ahead. I think right now he's probably the consensus number one pick, and it's Aiden Hutchinson, the edge defender out of Michigan. The kid was just an absolute stud. He helped that miserable Michigan team make it to the playoffs. Fuck Michigan, but I mean the kid is supremely talented. The Jags need a ton of fucking help all over the place, and this is the best player on the board. So Jacksonville is going to go ahead and take Aiden Hutchinson with pick number one.
Alrighty. How do you guys feel about Aiden Hutchinson going number one? Because he was picked number one in our last mock draft as well.
I mean, I think it's the most probable solution that's going to happen here. I'm trying to think of words. Words are hard. Yeah, I think it's the most probable thing. I think that's the only close to guaranteed thing that's going to happen in this draft, honestly.
There has been a little bit more word in like the past week or so that I guess Trevon Walker from Georgia, the defensive end, could be on their radar instead of Hutchinson. Or, I mean, we've seen stuff about tackles as well.
Wouldn't that be such a Jacksonville thing to do?
I don't believe all that shit. But I think this is silly season. I think we get a lot of rumors, a lot of hoopla during this part of the year before the draft. I think if you look at a lot of the mock draft early on, I think it's more accurate early on and most years than what the later mock drafts are. And I think Aiden Hutchinson's, he's been the consensus pick all year long, and there is no really, I'm not going to say not elite talent, but there's no star power in this draft. So, yeah, Aiden Hutchinson got to be the guy.
Absolutely. I think he's going to be like the next J.J. Watt, personally. But you're right. It is silly season. This is like the one time a year in the NFL that, people coaches and GMs can go out and outwardly, openly lie. And it's part of business at that point. So, yeah, I'm all in on this pick.
Yeah, I don't see another way they could go. Kyle Hamilton doesn't make sense right here. I know there's a lot of people that think he's the number one player in this draft. I'm not one of them. And the position value doesn't make sense.
Number one.
Exactly. Position value, you cannot take him there. If they want him, they'd have to trade out of that spot at number one and give it to somebody who wants to go up and get a quarterback or an edge defender.
Yep.
So, all right, cool. So that is pick number 1. And then big man, you're going to be up second, picking for the Detroit Lions.
Now remember, you're simulating the Detroit Lions, so you probably need to do something really stupid.
Yeah, well, I struggled with this. I thought about it overnight. Actually, I've thought about it, since we talked. I've done multiple mock drafts, the draft simulator, and I keep on coming back to the same player, Malik Willis. And I'll tell you the reason being Malik Willis. The reason why is because they have Jared Goff for the next 2 years. I know the Lions have a lot of holes, but I think Malik Willis is the best quarterback in this whole draft. He just needs time to get ready for the NFL. So, I went back and forth with this. I could have took Kyle Hamilton. I could have took Trayvon Walker or Thibodeau or even, Kyle Hamilton. I keep on going back. They need a quarterback. They need that franchise guy. And I feel like with them having Jared Goff for the next 2 years, you got to go ahead. If you think Malik Willis is the guy, you got to go ahead and pick him.
All right.
So I'm going to go with this one first. We in our last mock draft, we had our buddy Torres. He joined me side by side for the show. Avid viewer, one of our biggest fans. He's actually the guy who played the guitar for our intro song. But he is not necessarily always plugged in with what everybody else is doing. He's a huge Colts fan. He knows that inside and out. But picking everybody else, he's maybe not so sure about. And he went the exact same way. And we fucking buried him, basically, on this show. We're like, Jesus Christ, Malik Willis at number 2 is way too high. I still think it's way too high. He has the highest ceiling, but in my opinion, he has the lowest floor. And then we go to lunch, and what do we see on fucking TV? People starting to mock Malik Willis to number 2 to the Lions. I'm like, Jesus Christ, was Torres right? Is this gonna happen? And so this is now a couple people that I've heard say this. I've seen it on the big news channels, and I'm starting to think that this may absolutely be a possibility because I think people are really high on this kid. If they want the best quarterback in the draft, it's probably this kid, and they're going to have to move up to get him. And if they don't, if the Lions stay pat, they may take him.
Juice, what are you're staring at me like I did something stupid. You said you something stupid with the Lions.
You took what I said seriously, didn't you?
Well, I just took the guy that
I was kidding.
like,
you're trying to represent our show here. Would you not do anything stupid the rest of the show?
Well, I can't guarantee nothing.
Jesus Christ. I'm the one that's been drinking all damn day. Like,
All right, so I take it the Juice is not on board with Malik at number 2.
I am not on board with the pick. No. There is not. We have literally talked all year.
I know.
On this show about how there is not a top 10 quarterback in this draft.
I'm not.
And you gonna fucking take one top 2?
I know this. You
should have warned me you were gonna do this before we
are mocking who we think the teams are gonna pick. I'm not saying that I would pick them. I'm just saying I think the Lions would pick them.
Well, yeah, because the Lions do stupid shit, but that's the only reason they would take them.
So the pick is official? We're going Malik Willis at 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
It's in.
There it is, Malik Willis at 2. I don't agree with it. I think a lot of people don't agree with it, but it's starting to catch fire somewhere. People are starting to mock this a lot more. Evo, where are you at on this, man? I know we talked about it last week, but these guys weren't with us.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same ilk where I don't think that there is a top 10 quarterback in this draft class.
I don't think there's a top 20 quarterback in this draft class.
If you're looking at previous drafts and where Malik Willis fits in, he might not be a top 20 guy. But at the end of the day, quarterback is the most important position on the field, and you got to take your shots. And so for a team like Detroit, they don't have a whole lot of star power on that team, and if Malik Willis is able to come in there and turn out to be a above average quarterback, at least for him, someone for the team to rally behind, then I guess it's going to be a good pick in the long run. You're definitely not getting Malik Willis at pick 32, which the Lions also have. So
right. Absolutely.
If you want this guy, I guess you go out and get him. Now I think that there's other ways they could have built their team, but at the end of the day, like I said, quarterback's the most important position. So if he's the guy you want, go for it. I definitely could see another position. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, with the talent in this draft, trading up in these top 10 positions is going to be kind of rough.
Yeah, so I mean, right here, I'm not looking at quarterback. I have so many other needs. I need a bookend. Exactly. Either side, man. I'm going offensive line. I'm going defensive line. Somebody to protect my team. Build from the inside out. This is Motor City Dan Campbell we're talking about. I think he's gonna go fucking interior or somewhere. He's going somewhere on the line, defensive or offensive line. I don't see a Kyle Hamilton pick here. He's too high still. Stingley is not going to happen. I think you're looking at probably an end or a tackle. Kayvon Thibodeau. I could see maybe an Evan Neal here. But, man, I don't dislike Willis. I just don't think he's that guy.
I don't necessarily disagree with you guys. I'm just picking who I think that they might go with.
And I think they absolutely could.
I think that there's going to be one, possibly even two quarterbacks taken in the top 10. I'm not for sure, but I could see that happening. Quarterbacks is a premium position, so they're going to pick them higher, regardless of whether they're worth a top 10 or top 20 pick. I mean, me personally, I agree with you. There's not a quarterback in this class worth a top 20 pick. I agree.
Well, yeah, let's be real.
At 20 is where you can get one of these guys.
No, I think anywhere between 11 and 20 with Malik Willis' ceiling, it's reasonable to reach at that point.
Okay.
But let's be real. You got probably 3 other teams that would take Malik Willis here in the top 10, whether it's Carolina at 6, the Falcons at 8. 9, Seattle. Any of those teams, they're going to grab. Well, he's not making it out of the top 10.
You got the Commanders at 11 too, which I'm still on board that they're drafting a quarterback because the fucking Carson's not making it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know. If you're Detroit, though, you have so many holes. Wouldn't it be? And you're probably, if we're thinking realistically, going to be in the top 5 next year as well.
Yeah. Agreed.
Would it not make more sense to fill a hole with an Evan Neal, a Kayvon Thibodeau, even a Trayvon Walker?
I'm not sure in Evan Neal or a Kayvon Thibodeau is a world changer. If I'm the Lions here, I'm actually trying to trade down, I think. I'm probably trying to move into around.
I think that's where I look to. Yeah, I think that's where I look to first as well. But I love Kayvon Thibodeau's ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, I like his potential.
Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to take that shot at 2 with him.
Sure.
Kyle Hamilton, I think, is too high.
Yeah,
I mean, Evan Neal's probably the best tackle there, but really, I don't know about it.
Yeah. All right. I mean, this number 2 pick is going to be very interesting. I would not be surprised to see a trade on actual draft night. All right, but guys, we're going to move along. We got Houston Texans coming up next, and we're going to have Juice making that pick.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Okay,
how did I know that?
Yeah,
I've even said I would take him number 1 if I was the Jags. I just think his ceiling is so much higher than Hutchinson's. I think Hutchinson's better right now, but Thibodeau's ceiling is so much higher than his. I'm willing to take that gamble. And Houston needs a lot of star power. This is your next J.J. Watt. This is your next sack leader in the NFL in the next 5 years. Like, Aiden Hutchinson's not going to be the sack leader ever.
I don't know about that.
He's not. There's just not. And if he goes to Jacksonville, he's not even going to be the sack leader on that team.
All right.
We'll just have to see. We'll just have to wait to see on that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Josh Allen, which is who you're alluding to there.
Yeah,
I think
that's exactly
both of those guys working together would be very fun to watch.
It would, but Josh is more athletic than Hutchinson is.
I agree with that, but I also think that'll open up Hutchinson a lot more with Josh because Josh.
You don't think they're not going to slide protection to the number 1 overall pick?
You don't think they're going to slide protection to the best pass rusher on the team, which is Josh Allen? Exactly.
Josh is going to lead that team in sacks, I'm telling you.
All right. So we got the pick is in. We got Kayvon Thibodeau going number 3 to the Houston Texans.
I think Kayvon's the best prospect in this draft.
Okay.
All right.
Strong. All right, well, that brings me up next with the New York Jets. And as much as I know old Sleeveless Mike there doesn't like their quarterback,
he just fucking sucks.
Hey, they just missed out on the Tyreek Hill trade. They were going hard after him, and they're trying to get more weapons on that offense. I would take a strong look at Ahmad Gardner if I were them, because I think that he's one of the top 3 players in this draft.
Agreed.
However, they want that wide receiver. They want that star power. I'm going with Garrett Wilson because I think that he's the best wide receiver in this draft. Garrett Wilson, Ohio State, going to the New York Jets.
Yeah, so Garrett Wilson is the best receiver in this draft. I'm a homer. I'm an Ohio State guy. He's just so sudden, in and out of breaks. He's got speed to beat you over the top. Massive fucking wingspan, and the kid can leap out of a building. He's the guy, and I feel terrible for him because Zach Wilson can't hit the broadside of a fucking barn, and if he does, it's going to be 10 minutes late. Evo, you've heard me talk about how much Zach Wilson blows. And nothing has changed my mind on that. He still stinks, and maybe Garrett Wilson helps him out in some short to intermediate passes, get the ball quick out of his fucking hands. But, I mean, it's the right pick. They need the best receiver in the draft to give this kid weapons, and Garrett Wilson is that guy.
All right, I think that's a little high for Wilson. I mean, I like Wilson, and it's definitely a need for the Jets. They need to surround Zach Wilson with as much talent as possible. But I think the Jets would be smart to look into trading back a few picks at least, possibly even like Seattle to number 9, and go with a receiver later on. I think this draft has a really deep class of receivers. So I think Garrett Wilson just a little bit high at number 4, my personal opinion.
Is it still too high to go Kyle Hamilton?
This is right when I would start thinking about him. I don't think he is the best defensive back in this draft. I think Ahmad Gardner is better. But this is right around that time where you start seeing it.
But that depends on where you need him. Do you need him to play man-to-man cover defense, or do you need him to roam the middle of the field?
I think you start seeing Kyle Hamilton somewhere in that 4 to probably. I don't think he gets past 9, 4 to 9 range probably.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out.
Been a great pick at number 4 with the Jets going to who's their head coach? The defense
Robert
Saleh.
Robert Saleh.
Yeah, Saleh. He's a Seattle guy. They just traded.
That was.
Yeah, and I mean they need a safety. I really think Hamilton or Sauce Gardner would be tremendous pickups at number 4 for the Jets.
That's true. Like I said, I was leaning towards Ahmad Gardner because he would be an immediate upgrade there. And the Jets do have another pick coming up here at pick number 10 where possibly Garrett Wilson is still there, if not one of those top 2 or 3 receivers in a deep draft would have them available.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I like Garrett Wilson too.
I really like Garrett Wilson.
So you're kind of playing the Cincinnati role here that they did last year, passing on the O-line need to get
Penny Sewell.
the weapon.
I think there's going to be a really, really good tackle there for them at number 10.
Okay.
Because I don't think we see Icky, Neal, and Cross all off the board before 10.
Yeah. But do you have one substantially higher than the others?
There's going to be a safety top 10. There's going to be a corner top 10. And I think there's going to be a receiver top 10. Now, if we get a quarterback in that top 10, one of those tackles is definitely going to fall down to 10, which sets it perfectly for the fucking Jets. Unless there's just a guy that they say, this is our tackle for the next 10 years.
That was my question, is do you have one substantially higher or one substantially lower than the other two.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with how hard they pushed for Tyreek Hill, that's what kind of pushed me more towards this pick, was that
I
they wanted a
completely
receiver.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
So that's why I leaned into going wide receiver here rather than, because they could take one of these tackles. I think, like I said, I really, really like Ahmad Gardner, and I think that he would be the smart pick for them there, because I'm with Mike where I think that he's the best cornerback in this draft, possibly the best defensive back right there with Kyle Hamilton. It's just positional value with Hamilton. And there's actually still decent safeties out there on free agency if they really need to fill a hole.
I mean, for me, it's Evan Neal.
And safety actually is fairly deep in this draft class as well.
It's more important to me to protect Zach than it is to give him one weapon.
It doesn't
And I
matter.
said the same thing about Cincinnati.
For entirely too long.
Then again, if they think that he's the next version of Joe Burrow out there, Joe Burrow didn't have a goddamn line in front of him at all year. But once he got himself a receiver, they blew up, made it to the Super Bowl.
Don't you dare try to make the equivalency between Wilson and Joe Burrow.
That's not me.
You're a
That's
Cleveland fan. Don't jump on the Northern Kentucky bandwagon.
that's the dementia in New York, not me.
I love Burrow. He is a stud. Zach Wilson is hot fucking garbage.
Listen, if I wasn't diehard Dallas, like, I swear I'd jump on the Cincinnati bandwagon. You'll attest. I love Cincinnati.
You know how I feel about Burrow, so I'm not even going to go there.
I mean, I love Burrow. I love Chase. I love Higgins. I love that whole freaking offense. Like,
I mean, I love my Browns, but it's kind of hard not to root for a former Buckeye.
Don't let me get us off track.
That's the only reason I'm rooting for Burrow, is because he's a former Buckeye. Fuck Cincinnati.
Yeah, fuck Cincinnati. Fuck Northern Kentucky.
We'll take them. Fuck both of you.
All right, Mike. I think you're up next now with the old New York Giants.
The New York Football Giants. Okay, so I had this pick in our last mock draft as well, and I kind of wanted to maybe take a different approach. I don't know if I can. They have a ton of needs, right? They need offensive line help. They need edge help.
They go a lot of different directions.
They need help at linebacker. They need a lot of help everywhere, right?
Yeah. But it's one of those where you almost can't go wrong because there's so many holes. It's Swiss cheese.
So I'm going best player available, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that Danny Dimes makes it past this year. I don't think Saquon makes it past this year as a New York Giant. This is both of their last years as Giants.
I agree with you. I agree 100%.
I was there on the Danny Dimes. Talk to me. Talk to me, big guy.
I think me and Evo are both on this train that Saquon is a little overrated. He is not worth the money that he is being paid, and he is injury prone.
I'm not against the idea.
I agree 100%.
So at this point, I mean, I don't have to worry about building an offensive line because I'm not going to have anybody to run behind it or anybody to fucking throw behind it because I'm not taking a quarterback. So I'm going best player available, and I'm taking Kyle Hamilton off the board right here. We said that somewhere between 4 and 9 was the right spot, and I think this is the spot.
All right, Kyle Hamilton it is. Going to the New York Giants.
Kyle Hamilton over Sauce Gardner.
That's the straight pick.
That's all right. I mean, I like Kyle Hamilton.
I think that Sauce is a better player. I truly do. I think Sauce is possibly the best defensive player, period, in this draft. The man has not allowed a touchdown his entire college career, starting as a 4-year starter.
Yeah.
But I think people are much higher on Kyle Hamilton than they are on Sauce. I think the fact that Garrett Stingley out there could potentially jump Sauce in this draft, which I don't understand. I think that makes Kyle Hamilton like a more premium pick. This is everybody thinks this kid is a world-beating safety.
No,
I don't see Troy Polamalu. I don't see Ed Reed. I see a solid player. I don't think this kid is generational, but I think a lot of people do.
Okay.
You know, and I'm looking at the Giants depth chart right now, and I don't know if this is completely updated to what's happened in the offseason. But their defensive backfield is actually probably one of the stronger points on their team. They've got James Bradbury. They've got Adoree Jackson playing cornerback opposite of one another. Xavier McKinney at strong safety. Julian Love, who, quite honestly, I don't know who he is at free safety. So that means Kyle Hamilton is immediately able to step in there. Julian Love?
Notre Dame safety as well. Yes.
Well, there you go. They're loading up on them,
Yeah, he went to
Golden
Notre Dame,
Domers.
yes.
All right, so
And he really does more of play linebacker in a nickel set than what he does of playing safety.
right. So to me, as much as I like Sauce Gardner, they've already got some decent cornerbacks. If they want to bolster that secondary, adding in a Kyle Hamilton who can do kind of a little bit of everything and do it very well, kind of works out for him. Me personally, I'd be going for edge. I would have, you've got
Carleaf is too high, man.
Trayvon Walker, man. Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon
Like I said,
Walker, yeah.
he's still being looked at
Also
as
the
possibly a top 3 pick. Shit.
Right. Also, the Giants got the need on the offensive line as well at tackle. They could pick Evan Neal, Ike Ekwonu, or Cross. I mean, they need a right tackle. They just drafted Andrew Thomas 2 years ago, and he's been okay, but they need another bookend tackle, in my opinion.
Yeah, the right tackle is Matt Gano.
I'm more interested in the Gardner and Singley conversation because I think Singley's more legitimate than what Big Man's giving him credit for.
I'm not saying. Oh, I think Stingley's a very good prospect. He has not progressed from his freshman year. I mean,
does Sauce's speed not concern you?
No.
Why?
Because he's not going to be your press man corner like everybody else, and maybe he's big.
But don't you have to have that in your repertoire?
You got to have a little bit. I don't think you need to go. He's going to be a scheme fit, I think, a little bit as well. But I mean, this kid, he looks just like a fucking Richard Sherman.
So you're going to take a scheme fit in the top 5?
I think he can play. I think he can probably play man. Will he have struggles? Maybe a little bit. Maybe. When you're going against top level competition, which Cincinnati did, especially these last couple of years.
Yeah,
and you don't give up a fucking touchdown. You don't give up a touchdown. That's insane.
But is that a scheme thing? If you go into a system where you're going to have to play man, is he going to be a liability?
I don't think that anybody who drafts him is going to strictly play man. But
right, so that's what I'm wondering.
I think he can play man. I don't know that his speed is that big of a concern.
And he did run a 4.41 at the combine. Obviously, that's in skinny.
What that was.
That's in shorts and tank tops that are glued to your body. But he did put up a pretty good 40 time at the combine. So maybe he's got a little more speed than we're thinking.
Okay, granted, he's not. This is a.
He don't look fast on film.
He's not running a 4.3 or a low or a high 4.2. That's not how he's built. He's a 4.4 guy, but he's fucking 6'3", 190 pounds.
Oh yeah,
he's a big physical corner.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So 9 at Seattle is where I see him to replace the guy that made that franchise.
Well, okay, so I don't dislike that pick at all. I don't think he makes.
But why are we talking about him at 5? Is what I'm wondering.
Kyle Hamilton.
I know, but we debated between whether Sauce and Kyle Hamilton would be the best defensive back in the draft.
I'd have been comfortable taking Sauce Gardner at number 4 with the Jets because, one of the reasons Robert Saleh is the head coach. I mean, Sauce Gardner. I agree with both Evo and Mike. Sauce Gardner probably the best cornerback we've seen come out in the last couple of years, I think, in my opinion. A 4.4, 140 is still pretty damn fast. He's going to be able to play man.
If you're not guaranteed to be the best corner in your own damn draft, you ain't the best corner to come out in the last however many years.
I think he is guaranteed to be the best corner.
I don't think
after
he
a
is.
rookie, I think after a rookie year, we will know exactly where these guys stand. And I'm expecting Sauce to have a great fucking rookie year. But I mean, we don't know until these guys get on the field. This whole thing that we're doing, this whole mock draft, the entire thing's a fucking crapshoot, just like the real draft.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm not hating on it. I just really want to know where you stand between those two corners.
I think Sauce and Stingley are a 1A, 1B for me personally, but the safer of the two, just because we've seen that drop off since his freshman season from Stingley, that makes Sauce the little bit more of a safer pick, and that's why he's going to go first.
I like
The ceiling for
that's why he's going to go first.
The ceiling for Stingley is way up there, though.
Here.
Yeah.
Stingley's got a really high ceiling, but he's also got a lower floor. We've seen Gardner.
True.
I mean, he's got that high ceiling, but he's also got a.
Yeah, you can always move him to safety.
Yeah, you could.
So we talked about this on the last episode. Listen, I'm taking the chance on a corner who doesn't pan out because corners who don't pan out turn into safeties. You know what happens to safeties? They're out of the league, or they got to put on 20 pounds and play fucking linebacker, which is an even more devalued position.
Which I ain't hating on drafting a corner that you might have to move to safety because Minka Fitzpatrick worked out fantastic for Pittsburgh.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like realizing that he was not working as a corner in Miami and trading for him and moving him to safety, like it just shows how fantastic of an organization Pittsburgh is. And yes, I'm talking up Pittsburgh on purpose because I have two Cleveland fans in the room.
Yeah.
Like,
I figured that was.
I'm doing it on purpose. Like,
did I say fuck you yet?
they also drafted T.J. Watt, which was a genius move.
Fuck TJ Watt.
Agreed. Fuck T.J. Watt, but he's really goddamn good. All right,
He's
move on to the
really
next
good.
pick, guys.
All right.
All right, that's a big man with the Carolina Panthers.
That's right.
Man, you guys really did leave me with some shit here. This is with the way our mock draft is falling out, it's actually hard.
No.
Oh, do it.
I know you.
Do it. Do what I think you're gonna do.
No.
2 in a row.
I know it, but I'm not saying that this is the pick, but I'm looking at the next top 2 quarterbacks, Pickett, Corral, and the reason I'm doing this is Matt Rule's job is on the line. 2, the Panthers do not have another pick again until the 4th round. So what the fuck are they going to do other than either trade back or pick a quarterback? I would trade back if it was me. But you know what?
But there's no trades in
shits
this
and
mock.
giggles,
No, don't do it.
I'm going to go with Evan Neal.
Oh my God! Thank you. Oh my
Evan Neal's the
Jesus!
best player available right now.
I hate your guts.
They need, and it's also a need. I mean, I still think that they're going to pick a quarterback, but for this exercise, I'm going with Devin Lloyd.
Oh my Jesus! I thought. Oh.
I should have picked.
There we go.
Woo!
I wasn't sure you were going to do it.
It was hard, guys. I can tell you that much. I was really leaning towards Pickett, but if I was the GM, I'd pick best player available. But I'm looking at it a little bit more into it as Rule. He's definitely on the hot seat.
I really thought
and the fact
I was
that the Panthers only have 1 pick in the first 3 rounds. I mean, what else do you do?
You better get a franchise. You better get a franchise guy. If you got 1 pick in the first 4 rounds, you better get a franchise guy. And I really think Neal is.
And where do you expect me to get a franchise? Oh,
Not with Kenny Pickett.
You said franchise guy, not franchise.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I really like this pick. And honestly, if I'm the GM, this is the way that I'm going. Even if Matt Rule's on the hot seat, look, you went after Deshaun Watson and you lost out. You tried to upgrade your quarterback with something better than you're going to find in this draft, most likely. So, hey, they're probably going to be picking high again next year. You might as well start building your team and then allow yourself to go after that quarterback next year when you got some actual prospects coming out. So,
and
getting this
that's kinda
tackle,
how I
smart
looked at
play.
it. That's kind of how I looked at it. I mean, I really wanted to pick Pickett there just because of Matt Rule's job is on the line. And I think if Matt Rule has anything to do with this pick, I think it will be a quarterback. But
Matt Rule,
I agree with you guys.
Absolutely on the hot seat. Matt Rule's absolutely on the hot seat. You know who's not on the hot seat though? That fucking GM. He doesn't give a fuck about Matt Rule. I think they're ready for that relationship to be over anyways. He's going to take the best player, and it's definitely not goddamn Kenny Pickett right here.
Realistically,
no, it's definitely not.
Realistically, Matt Rule can be like, what? Look, we tried to upgrade the quarterback, but what am I supposed to do when I got Sam Darnold and not even the ghost of Cam Newton out there anymore? Even though he's open to a reunion, you got Sam or not Sam. Did I say Sam Bradford? Sam Darnold.
You said Sam
Darnold.
Yeah. You got Darnold. You were able to get something out of him in the beginning of the year. Maybe you're able to catch that lightning a little bit longer. I don't think so. But you can try for it, and at least you can say, hey, we've got this team built up, set up next year, and if you bring in a new head coach, that's an admirable spot for a head coach to want to go now because you got a high pick. You get to pick your quarterback as the new head coach, stuff like that. So that works out for that GM if they select a tackle here. And, I mean, if I'm Matt Rule, I'm being like, hey, I was put in a shit situation. They aren't going to bring in any sort of a quarterback for me. They're bringing in a bust, in Darnold. What am I supposed to do? So it helps him out for his next job somewhere as well.
All right. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to trade back a little bit on this pick as well, considering that they only have one pick in the first 3 rounds.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see a trade down here, or you got to go best player. I'm not sure Evan Neal is the best tackle. At one point, I was on that train. I think I'm starting to kind of shift off of that into Charles Cross because I don't think Icky is a tackle unless he's.
I don't know. Cross to me, I really like Charles Cross, but he's more kind of like he reminds me of Andre Dillard, the offensive tackle drafted by Philadelphia. He's a really good pass protector, and I think he would be great on a team that passes the ball a lot. But if you're going to run the ball, you need somebody that's going to be a road grader as well. So I think Neal was probably the better fit.
Okay.
Yep. All right, I like it. So next up, we got who we got here?
It's me.
It is.
Yeah, Juice with the Giants.
It's me. I'm going to go back-to-back tackles. Akeem Ekwonu. Yes.
Oh.
Not a tackle. He's a guard.
Mike's already not happy with it.
He's a guard.
He's a tackle.
He's a right tackle at best.
He still plays tackle.
That's okay. They got Andrew Talk.
I was about to say you got the Georgia tackle from Andrew Thomas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, bam! I got versatility, and I got a road grader and a pass protector.
I don't disagree with that. I think Iggy is going to be a pretty good lineman. I'm not down on him. I just don't know.
Or I can bump him to guard because I'm the New York Giants, and the only position I got filled is the left tackle position.
Yeah, right now the Giants have Shane Lemieux and Mark Lewinsky as their guards on the inside there. So worst case,
oh my God,
you bump them in.
I can move him.
Who?
Shane Lemieux and Mark Lewinsky.
So Mario Lemieux played hockey, and that's his.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, this is a great pick then because if he doesn't work out as a tackle, you definitely need a fucking guard.
I could
Positional flexibility. It's nice.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
All right, guys.
Hey, Mike,
we still got Trayvon Walker and Ahmad Gardner on the board.
Still got Jordan Davis as well.
There's a ton. No, there's a ton of.
Somebody's going to take a shot on Jordan Davis early. I'm just trying to figure out who.
I think Davis will definitely be a first rounder.
No, somebody's going to take him very early because he's going to sell tickets and he's going to sell jerseys. I'm just trying to figure out who it's going to be.
Well, I can tell you this.
Take a 2-down lineman like that.
I'm picking here for the Falcons, and he ain't going here.
No, I don't think he goes this high either. I'm just saying somebody's going to take him early. I'm just trying to figure out who.
So for me, I'm going with the guy that's already in state. You got Trayvon Walker off the edge.
Yeah.
Possibly getting mocked, and this is like a top 3 pick, and he falls all the way down here at pick number 8. Trayvon Walker's too juicy for me, man.
No, you're 100% right.
Yeah, if he falls to number 8, I mean, Atlanta has a need for an edge. I mean, you know, Trayvon Walker was on an all-star cast of defensive linemen with Jordan Davis and Devonta Wyatt already.
An all-star defense.
Yeah,
like,
all-star defense, period. But, yeah,
this is a
Walker,
defense that did what? They didn't give up a touchdown till, like, or they had scored more points than they had given up till, like, week 7 or something like that. Like,
yeah,
it's a ridiculous defense, and Trayvon Walker stood out. So
this might be one of the best college defenses ever. It's up in that echelon of how fucking dominant they were. And this kid's fantastic. He's a goddamn physical freak. Like, you shouldn't be this fucking big and be
this
able to
fucking
do the
fast.
things he can do. Yeah. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
6'5",
I agree.
275 or whatever.
No.
Like,
272, yeah.
No, what did he run? A 4.7? 4.8? 4.8 flat or something like that?
I actually think it was faster than that. I think it was like a 4.51 actually, to be honest with
There's
you.
no way it was that fast, was it?
Yeah, I think he was pretty quick.
No, I'm telling you, it looked like an offensive line. It looked like an
4.51.
Oh,
4.51.
God. Okay, so I
Bam.
was way underselling him.
He's
That's
ridiculous.
fucking
The thing about Walker is he wasn't asked to do, you know, he was asked to do different things and not just rush the passer. If you just let him rush the passer, you know, pin his ears back and rush the passer, you know, the sky's the limit for this guy. I mean, I'm actually surprised that they fell to number 8.
But where do you take him before that? If you're doing the whole draft, where do you take him?
There's
I don't know,
those talks of
That's
number
what I'm
1
saying.
overall, and
Number
and
one.
the Texans
Yeah,
they could
other
go
than
that way
that.
instead of Thibodeau. Instead of
Yeah,
Thibodeau,
I
they,
guess.
Instead of Thibodeau. I
Yeah,
think Thibodeau has a
maybe.
chance to fall, just because I think people are concerned with does he love
With the
football?
floor?
Yeah, and the
Well-
fact that he's not all in on football, like, but you know what? Miles Garrett was the same way coming out.
Yeah,
But,
I
you know-
I know Miles had a lot of other interests, and we talked about this on our last episode. Like, you don't need to love football to play really good fucking football.
No, you
You,
don't.
at a minimum, need to love money, and that will get you a big ass contract. And then, I mean, you're gonna get at least 5 years of production out of this kid until he gets a new contract, at a minimum.
Could we see 3 edge rushers go
In the first,
in the top 3?
I think it's
I
possible.
that's a little- I think
it's
that's a little
possible. I can
much.
see Aiden Hutchinson going 1, Trayvon 2, and
Thibodeau.
3. I mean,
Yeah. And you're probably, I mean, you could even be seeing Jermaine Johnson getting up there in the top 15 as well. I know some people really like him. He's been mocked actually to Atlanta as well.
I've seen him in the top 10. I could see actually all defense going in the top 5.
because literally 1, 2, 3 could all 3 go best available, and it's arguable that the best 3 are edge rushers.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe a tackle slides in there.
Yeah,
I think,
maybe.
I think Willis is too high at 2, but I mean, we already talked about that. We actually had this comment. I don't know if we showed it earlier. I take Willis at 20. That's from Byron Martin.
Must have been a Steelers fan.
I mean,
He is actually a Steelers fan. He's a goddamn turncoat. Lives,
How did I know that?
lives in Ohio. Good dude. He's actually going to be sleep at his house while I look for a house when I move out there. So the family gets there. So love the guy, but he is an absolute terrible person for liking the Steelers.
Yeah, sorry about that, buddy.
All right. Well, that takes us here to the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seahawks, well, we got who we got picking that Seahawks?
That is me. That is going to be me. And we're going to – Juice and I are very much on the same page, right?
there's no
this
way
seems
you
like,
can't.
Yeah, this seems like the perfect fit. It's an absolute scheme fit. Best player available. In my opinion, the best defensive back in this draft.
Ooh, Derek Stingley it is.
And it's not him.
All right, got it put in
Not
for
Kyle
you.
Hamilton. It's Von
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Come on.
Listen,
Oh.
so when we're talking about corners, everybody's excited about picks, right? But we saw Trevon Diggs have a ton of picks last year, but give up over 1,000 yards and countless touchdowns.
I don't even care.
Right?
You get that many turnovers, I don't even care.
Turnovers are great, but you know what is just as good?
That's
Not
what
giving
drives
them
the
any
NFL.
fucking points.
No, that's what drives the NFL. Turnovers drive the NFL.
If a team can't score, they can't win. And you know what people don't do against fucking Sauce? They don't goddamn score. He is never allowed a touchdown.
I don't care. You just throw it to the other side of the fucking field and score.
What about Darrell Revis?
What about him? Just throw it to the other side of the fucking field.
Listen, if they were to play the Steelers, if they put Ahmad Gardner on the right side, then Mitch Trubisky's not completing a pass all game because he can't throw left. Like, shut off one half of the field.
I agree with that, Mike. You got that right.
If you're going to sit here and tell me Sauce Gardner is good as Darrell Revis.
I'm not saying that he's good at Darrell Revis.
Well, he ain't going to cut off half the fucking field. Let's just be honest.
Richard Sherman did.
Yes, he did. We saw Aaron Rodgers
not playing zone
away from his side.
Nobody cuts off half the fucking field playing zone. Revis did that playing man-to-man on the best fucking wide receiver week in, week out.
Revis Island.
Yeah. All right.
He did that playing man-to-man, shadowing. Not playing zone on the right side of the fucking field.
Calm down. No. It's okay.
No, don't even try that. Like,
I'm not saying he's as good, but he's
no, but you cannot make that comparison because Gardner is at best a zone scheme fit.
I disagree.
Just like Sherman.
I disagree.
Sherman.
I disagree.
Sherman's a Hall of Famer.
I think he plays better man coverage than Richard Sherman did.
I agree with Mike.
I don't think he does because I don't think he's fast enough to keep up with any receiver in the NFL.
He ran a 4.41.
And I disagree with you. 4.41 is fast.
In shorts.
All right.
Go run in shorts and go put on a full
He's not
set of
weak.
pads and tell me how much faster you are.
Richard Sherman didn't run a 4.41. Richard Sherman ran like a 4.6.
4.6.
That's quite a bit faster, in my opinion.
I really don't think it is. I think he's long.
Richard Sherman wasn't running those Lululemon shorts.
I think he's long.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I think he's long. I think he's tall. I think he's strong. I think he's going to play great zone defense in the NFL.
I think he'll have a better career than Derek Stingley. Would you like to put a cold beer bet on this? You've already owed me enough cold beer bets.
I mean, I will. I don't care to bet you.
I mean, I'll put it on your tab. I don't give a shit.
I mean, I don't care to bet you. But how long are we going to let this run?
Well, shit. We got to at least say 3 years.
Until it gets to a 30, then you got to pay up.
I can run that.
Okay. All right.
But I don't think you can play in today's NFL without being able to play man, and I don't know Sauce Gardner can play man.
I think he can, but that's just my opinion. But we'll find out.
What are you going to do when you play Miami? What are you going to do with him? Play him at safety?
You're going to have to play zone when you play Miami.
No.
Are you going to play him at safety?
No, you move everyone up. You move everyone up to about 5 to 10 yards because Tua's throwing the ball. And then you knock
them in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Tua's throwing the ball, so we ain't throwing it more than 20 down the field.
Well, that's still a fucking pass interference penalty as far as I know.
Playing physical.
All right.
Playing.
When's my next pick? Because I got to pee.
All right.
I've been drinking that big boy juice.
We got next, and then
all right.
Big man with the New York Jets. Who are they going after?
Took, a wide receiver with number 4, which y'all just fucked my whole world up. Because that's who I was going to take at number 10 with the Jets. I'm taking Jermaine Johnson. I think they need a defensive end. I would have liked to have Kyle Hamilton here. Like I said, I think the Jets need a safety and a cornerback as well, but there's no cornerback or safety this high, to take. So, yeah, Jermaine Johnson's my guy.
All righty, Jermaine Johnson,
pride
of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Back in my old stomping grounds. So I like Jermaine Johnson a lot. I see him as a pure edge rusher against the pass. He's okay in the run, but he's definitely got some good moves in the pass game, going after that quarterback. And remember, he actually was on this Georgia defense and left because it was so damn loaded. Ended up going to FSU, and that's where he started to put up his big numbers. So I like Jermaine Johnson, and Jets can always use rush help. I mean, they could use a lot of help in a lot of places.
Yeah.
I would have gone tackle here probably because if you are really sold on Zach Wilson, you got him a weapon. Now you want to protect him. I'd have probably gone Charles Cross there.
I agree.
But
I mean, you got Mekhi Beckham already.
I don't care. I agree.
I mean,
you put somebody else on the line.
You got somebody, you got a left tackle already, and right tackle's not hard to replace, and they got.
Yeah, because we just throw offensive linemen on
I promise you, as a
trees
Browns
nowadays.
fan, you know how hard it is to replace a right tackle.
You would think, right?
I do, but I know how hard it is to find, premium pass rusher as well.
And right tackle is really the only weakness on their offensive line. I mean, there's arguments here, but they got Mekhi Becton. They just signed Laken Tomlinson to a big-ass deal. Connor McGovern at center. Elijah Vera Tucker from last year in the first round at right guard. And then George Fant is your right tackle as of right now.
Man, you know who fits really good right there? Because he's definitely not a left tackle in the NFL? Trevor Penning with a trade down.
Yeah, I mean, a trade down would work as well. I mean, I'm not looking at, Penning at number 10, though. I mean, possibly Charles Cross.
That's too high. Way too high.
But, I mean,
he's a walking hold, but...
Right. If I'm staying at number 10, it's going to be Johnson. I mean...
Okay.
I mean, since I've already got that offensive, the firepower with Wilson, it's got to be Johnson.
And to be honest, I know we aren't doing trades in this mock draft, but the Jets do have 2 second-round picks as well.
I gotta go.
So
Your pick.
I've got to pee. Y'all gonna keep talking.
Actually, while he's doing that, since his pick is next, I'm going to pee as well.
All right. But as I was saying, the Jets, they do have 2 picks in the second round as well. The 3rd pick in the second round and the 6th pick in the second round. If they really want to go after another one of these tackles that starts falling, they can package up one of those seconds with a 3rd or a 4th to move back up in here and get another guy. That's absolutely within the realm of possibility.
I also, I'm looking at their needs and stuff. I mean, they got a cornerback as a need as well. Stingley, I think 10's a little high for Stingley. But, I mean, he's got the talent to warrant it. But, production, I'm not so sure on.
Mm-hmm.
I think
we got a comment here. Bill's going Andrew Booth from Clemson at 25. We'll see. And then another one, we got to have piss jugs ready to go. Apparently for these two, we got to have some piss jugs lying around for them.
Oh, yeah. Definitely some piss jugs. As a matter of fact, I need one now. Juice, you're up. I got to go take a piss myself, so go.
All right, cool. So I'm going to take the best corner in this year's draft.
Oh,
and
shit.
I'm going to take Derek Stingley Jr. with the 11th pick with the Washington. What the hell did they change their name to?
Commanders.
Commanders. That was it. I almost said football.
Heavy emphasis on the cum.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, for me, corner's the biggest point of emphasis that I'm willing to take in this spot. I think quarterback is the biggest need that they have. But there's no quarterback that I'm willing to take at 11. I just can't. Like, Derek Willis is gone. It's still too high for a defensive tackle like Jordan Davis. I don't believe in Charles Cross. I guess you take Jameson Williams here and hope that he comes back from injury the same way that he was, but I don't know if I'm willing to do that at 11.
All right, where are we at, boys? I'm sorry.
So we had Juice
Derek
over here
Stingley's
just took Derek Stingley for the Washington Commanders.
The Commanders.
So what I was saying, Jordan Davis is too high for a defensive tackle. I don't believe in Charles Cross, potentially, and I don't know that Washington needs offensive line help. I guess you take Jameson Williams if you're willing to wait on to see if he comes back from the knee injury. Derek Stingley's where you're at. I mean,
yeah.
Where else?
I don't hate that pick.
Yeah, I think that they could obviously go for a guard or a center here. Taking a center, Linderbaum, it's a little high for a center, but
yeah,
it's a little high for a center. But I know Mike likes his lineman over there.
Travis Frederick, you look like a genius.
I do. So listen, I'm pretty sure I made this pick last time, and I took Linderbaum right here because I need to try to salvage the corpse of Carson Wentz. He's, in my opinion, he's the best lineman in this draft, regardless of position. He's the only surefire lineman that I don't think is a bust. I think the kid is an absolute stud. There was a play I sent my son. My son plays center as well. I was like, watch this fucking kid just pull from the center position, gets out on the edge, seals a D end, drives him downfield, and then pulls off and takes out a fucking corner on the same goddamn pull from the center position. He is unbelievably athletic, but this is too high probably.
Yeah, center at 11. That's my problem. Like, if you trade back and take him at even 15, 16, I'm cool.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. The position value is not there, so I'm good with Stingley. I mean, I think it makes sense.
And that's look. I'm coming up with the next
pick that you can take him.
I think that this pick is the highest pick. The Vikings do need a center. We need a center really bad.
You can take him at 12. You can take him at 11.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, so like I said, I got this next pick. My Vikings really need a center. It's the only spot on our offensive line that is absolute dog shit. And I'm just too scared to do that because last time we took a first-round center, that's why we got the guy, Bradbury, right now, who is not cutting it. And positional value for me, I just can't do it. All right. And then
I couldn't either.
It hurts my feelings that Stingley is now off the board because that's who I was going to go with.
Yeah,
because
I was looking at that.
The worst position on the team is cornerback. All right, I could go with the next best available cornerback here in McDuffie, but he's primarily a slot corner. That is very bookended as far as what you can do. And while we could use it,
that's also becoming a high value position in the NFL.
It is. It is a
lot of these
starter on the field all the time.
Are going to slot.
It is, and I don't want to take just a slot corner with this high of a pick at 12.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I'm looking for.
Position is becoming more valuable.
I'm looking for impact.
I'm a big free safety guy.
That's true. I like that too, but I'm looking for an impact player here in the top of the first round, with hopefully as high of a pick in the first round as we have for a while. I need someone who's not only going to be able to produce. For at least some of this year, but definitely going on in the future. I'm going with a pick that you guys probably aren't expecting. I don't know that anyone's mocked this. I'm taking Jameson Williams.
I fucking knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
You take it. You just pointed that. Yes, he did.
I'm taking Jameson Williams. All right, so we got Adam Thielen, we got Justin Jefferson, and we actually got
now you add Jameson
a decent
Williams
third.
to it, and you have the best wide receiver core in the NFL.
Look, I've been turning. I thought Jameson's going to go later in the first round, but they just talked to him at his pro day. He's saying he thinks he's going to be ready by training camp.
Woo!
And if he thinks he's going to be ready by training camp, boom. Look, I don't care if I don't get him for the.
He's ready.
I don't care if I'm not getting him for the first quarter of the season. When you put those three guys out there, if you put those three guys out on the field, you got one of the best receiving cores. You look at what Kevin O'Connell, the new head coach for the Vikings, was doing out there with the Rams. They had Robert Woods, they had Cooper Kupp, and then they went out and got OBJ. Now it turns out obviously Robert Woods goes down for the year, but they were looking to have a strong three set of wide receivers. I see Kevin O'Connell trying to do the same thing, bring in another big time wide receiver out here for the Vikings. And even though this is a deep wide receiver draft and we could probably get a pretty good guy in the second, I'm going to go with arguably the best wide receiver in the draft prior to the injury, with Jameson Williams.
I don't care if I get him at all this year. I know going into next year, I have an offensive-minded head coach, and I have the best receiver core in the NFL.
So
I
like
know
this
it
pick.
for a shadow of a doubt.
I like this pick as well, but it's going to be for reasons that you're going to hate, Evo.
Okay.
Receivers on their second contract. We've seen it in the last, 3 weeks. That money's getting outrageous. And Jay Jettas is going to be commanding
You ain't gonna let Jefferson walk.
massive. He's gonna get at least $30 million.
Yeah.
You're not gonna let him walk. If that's
But you know what? You know what? We're not going to have to worry about money-wise by the time he comes for his second contract.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, that contract is going to be over, and they're not going to want to keep on paying him if he ain't producing. So by that time, Kirk Cousins will be gone. We'll be on to a rookie quarterback or another bridge quarterback, unfortunately, if that fucking happens.
And this is the tough thing. Like, if you're going to go receiver here, then you're trying to put together a massive offense, which means you're probably trying to go for it. And if you're going for it, then how long does Kirk stick around? Especially if we get you to, say, an NFC Championship game. Now you're stuck, right? When do we finally jump off the fucking plank and get rid of the Kirk Cousins thing? Because this move doesn't say we're getting rid of Kirk. This says we're going for it.
Oh, we had a Facebook comment here that I think we need to bring up. Juice loves cum is what he hears. I don't know who that's from.
I'm not sure who that's from at all. Let's go take a look. I'm sorry, Juice. That's uncalled for. You did not deserve that.
I don't care.
God damn.
Daniel.
I'm big
Dunlop.
boy. I can take it.
That's Eric Daniel
Big
Dunlop.
boy
who said
Dunlop.
that.
Eric
Nice.
Oh gosh.
Fuck
And
you.
Eric Daniel Dunlop gave us the Bills information here. This
Going
one.
for Andrew Booth. And I did put up the piss jug comment, so we did get that one down.
Yeah, we've seen that one. I was wondering who did that one.
That's my buddy.
That's the Wise Guys podcast.
Oh no! So
Listen.
Dean is my buddy from high school. That's the piss jugs guy. Good dude. We're in a fucking fantasy baseball thing with him right now. We're trying to figure out how the hell to navigate that because we don't know shit about it.
Yep. But like you said, Mike, win now. This move is kind of a win now move. And with Kirk Cousins on this new restructure that we did, it is a win now sort of contract for him. You know, people thought that we were going to be going through a rebuild possibly this year, and they actually went all in. They're calling it like a dynamic rebuild, like an in-the-moment rebuild where they think that they can turn this thing around. That primarily was a coaching situation there. So the defense needs a lot of work, and I think that's where they're going to focus mostly going forward, other than hopefully getting ourselves a center or maybe another guard. I would love for us to just go ahead and sign Treader and call it a fucking day. But they're going to go defense heavy in the rest of this draft, and if not this year, they're looking to go to the championship next year.
I love his pick. You go Thielen, JJ,
Jettas.
Williams.
How do you cover that?
Cook. Like, and then you still turn around and hand the ball off. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
How do you
I don't even
cover those
care
three
who your
guys?
quarterback is. Like,
And not to mention you have Irv Smith at tight end. Who
oh,
really
shit,
underrated.
I forgot all about
And
him.
Conklin, who had
No,
a really good year.
Yeah.
Conklin's gone. He
Oh, is he
walked
gone?
in free agency. He's with the Jets. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Ugh,
Jets.
Okay, well, you still got Irv Smith. Like,
absolutely. I don't know how you can cover all those guys on the field. I think that's a
can't.
dream
that's
scenario
the thing.
for
Even if
Kevin
he goes
O'Connell.
half a year without seeing Williams, you cannot cover it that second half of the year.
Yep.
There's no team in the NFL that can cover that.
And it hedges your bets for that future. Thielen is getting up there in age. I believe he's 32, 33. I can't remember. I played college football with him. So he's still, at the end of his career, just restructured, take a little less money. He's going to be gone probably in the next 2 to 3 years. You've got Jefferson. If he ends up walking, you got another guy to replace him.
You pay Jefferson and let him and Williams turn into the new Jefferson and Thielen. Like,
Yeah. Or bringing
except
it back to
more
old
athletic.
Chris Carter, Randy Moss era for me. And give
That's
me a big
exactly what
old
I was
chunk.
about to say, but I don't want to make that big of a statement, but it's exactly what I was thinking.
Alrighty, so next pick, Mike with the Houston Texans.
Oh, God. Where did we go with the Houston Texans last time?
I took it.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. Okay, so this one's easy for me then.
It's easy because if you look at the positional needs, every position is what's
fucking
listed.
Position. We need every position. I'm not taking a flyer on a guy who's hurt, on somebody who's unathletic or position, restricted. So I'm going with the best player available, and I'm going Charles Cross out of Mississippi State.
Knew it. Alrighty, I knew that one was coming.
Yeah, that was a good pick. I think Cross will make a great right tackle starting out, and you don't know what Laramie Tunsil is going to do. So after a couple of years, Tunsil may be out, so Cross could move to the left side eventually.
No, that'll be a better left tackle prospect coming through.
Or that.
I think Cross fits in nicely as a right tackle. If they find a way, I don't think they can keep their left tackle. Tunsil's going to want to get the fuck out of there. I mean, he's got a year or two left on his deal. I'm not sure,
yeah,
but
2 years, I think.
Yeah, I think you set up for the future. You get a guy who can play right away. You get him acclimated to your climate, your culture. Now, I could see going defense because Lovie Smith is now the new head coach down there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Lovey probably realizes he's a realistic thinker. He probably realizes that he's probably not the long-term answer there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they probably go with the safest bet, and they go cross there. So.
Yep. And the Laramie Tunsil numbers here. So he's a free agent 2024. However, he's on a super cheap base contract right now, where his cap hit and everything is reasonable. It's $17 million right now for him, with only $1 million base salary. Their next out though would be next year. It's $16 million dead cap, but they're owing him $35 million next year. So for some reason they get into a cap situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, how scary would it be to have Thibodeau and Jordan Davis on the same 4-3 defensive line?
That'd be pretty scary. They could go strictly
Lovey runs
defense.
that 4-3 like.
Lovey is a defensive guy.
Yeah.
Listen, if they are actually going to let Davis Mills give this a shot, I think you get another lineman, you let him have a chance. I mean, they re-signed Brandon Cooks, so I think that's what they're going to do. Get another tackle, bolster your line, and
I guess that's where I differ, because I don't believe in Davis Mills. So I still have it stuck in my head that let's bolster the rest of the team, and then we'll worry about quarterback next year.
Well, you still can't take
which I guess an
here,
offensive lineman does do, but I don't know. I think I'd go Jordan Davis.
It could be a scary group of Jordan Davis out there.
And the best interior defensive lineman in the draft. If they both pan out, yeah. Ooh.
Well, I got news for you guys. Jordan Davis is going to be taken by Baltimore at
Oh,
number 14.
dear Jesus.
Yeah.
He ruined everything.
I know a lot of people think he's a 2-down lineman, but I disagree. I think he's going to be.
I think he's athletic enough to get to the quarterback.
I think he is too.
Down.
I think he can be a 3-down lineman. I think he's going to have to, get better stamina because he is a pretty big guy. But
well, you know all about being a big guy.
341.
I mean, look at that picture of him up on the screen. Look at that fucking neck.
Yeah, I mean,
That's bigger than my thigh.
Fucking fat head.
He's an absolute monster. What did he run in the 40?
Like a 4.7.
It was like 4.7.
Yeah, it was ridiculous for how big he is.
Yeah,
I think Jordan.
Everybody
Davis
on that
of
Georgia
Baltimore,
defense was doing that.
Baltimore picked Haloti Nada. I don't know. I mean, Mike may remember this was back when we picked Cameron Wembley, so that's back in the mid to late 2000s.
Oh, so you're saying Baltimore?
Yeah, let's not fucking remind Browns fans of that.
I mean, yeah, I know, Mike, but I can only, think of that one
Cameron Wembley, the most
What
British
Over a Lodi
sounding
Dada?
NFL player ever.
I mean,
Weird he wasn't good.
Look, hindsight's always 20/20, pal. I mean, whenever you were looking at it, I mean, nobody talked about Haloti Nada. He was a 2-down lineman.
Yep.
Just like Jordan Davis is, right?
Well, I can guarantee
Possibly.
you Nada didn't run a 4.7 at 40.
Yep, and that's a 4.78 for Jordan Davis, the newest player on the Baltimore Ravens, thanks to Big Man.
Yep. Yeah. I like the idea. I don't love that for my Browns, but
No, I don't like it for the Browns.
I hate that for you boys. But the Ravens do draft very smart guys.
They do.
They do. They always seem to hit on their defensive players.
It's always like if they take somebody defensively, it's like, yep, he's gonna be pretty good.
Yep.
That's why I believe in Patrick Queen. Like, I don't know. There's something about Baltimore and taking defensive guys. Like,
All right, Juice, you're up next here with the Philadelphia Eagles. Where are you going?
Oh shit! I have no idea. Well, I'm not going quarterback. I think Hurts is better than any of the ones that are available. Get that damn needs off my screen. I know Philly. They're in my fucking division. Shit off my screen. Let me look.
Now, I think we had our boy Goose, who's a Philly fan, on the list. I think he took Karlaftis.
No, that's not what I'm going.
We disagreed with this pick.
Linebacker out of Utah.
Oh shit!
oh man, he wanted to do a linebacker, but he said that fucking Howie Roseman's not smart enough to do it.
No, I don't care. I'm going Devin Lloyd out of Utah. He's the best linebacker in the draft.
I
think he can hit. I think he can cover. I think he can run. As bad as I freaking hate the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, this is the best pick available, I believe. As far as team need and talent, I think Lloyd's the best there.
I like Devin Lloyd a lot, but is he a Micah Parsons?
No, I don't. No, I don't think he's Micah.
And this is right around where Micah was picked. That's the production that I want to see from my linebacker.
No, because you're not going to put Lloyd on the edge like they did Micah.
True.
Also,
I'm
pretty sure the
Lloyd
Eagles passed on Micah last year when they could have had him.
He did, and I think Lloyd compares more to, I'd say Urlacher, or it's the inside linebacker positions that I'm looking at with Lloyd. I'm not going to say Ray Lewis because I don't like comparing anybody to Ray Lewis.
I don't like comparing anybody to Urlacher because I think Urlacher.
I don't either because I think Urlacher's one of the best cover inside linebackers that's ever played.
Being a former safety, Urlacher had that range.
Yeah, but I think Lloyd's got the speed. I think Lloyd's got the length. You're sitting at 6'2", 237.
Lloyd can actually be put in the edge too. He played some edge ball at Utah. He's not quite.
Yeah,
big.
but I'm not gonna say Lloyd's gonna come in and lead all rookies in sacks.
No, that's lofty expectation, but he is. I agree with you. I think he is the best linebacker in this draft.
I think he's worth top 15. I think that's a position that Philly could use. I don't think they can get a quarterback better than Jalen Hurts at this position. You can go one of the receivers in this spot, but I think you've got pick 18 and I think another pick 2, and this is deep wide receiver. I think you go Devin Lloyd here.
All right.
I mean, I don't have any disagreements here. I think it's a great pick for them. I don't know if they'll do this.
I don't either.
I mean, it's a position of need for them. Our boy Goose, who was on the last pod and drafting with us for the Eagles as a Philadelphia fan, said he wanted Devin Lloyd. He just didn't think Roseman would be smart enough to do it. I have to agree. Howie Roseman is quite possibly the worst GM in the NFL, and he would make some dumb pick here. I think this is a great pick for the Eagles. They could go wide receiver.
I know. But you have 2 more picks.
I think they could go a Drake. I think they could go a Drake London here. Get them a big-bodied receiver to go opposite of their tiny-ass receivers they got out there.
I agree with Mike. I think they should go with Drake London as well.
No, I think he'll defense.
But if Drake London does fall to number 18,
I'm gonna say you got another pick, 3 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Saints are drafting, and they need wide receivers.
The Saints are drafting, and I got them up next, and I do like the idea of a wide receiver here.
Yeah, I don't think it's Drake London, no, based on the last one.
It ain't. Look, they want to go with a guy to replace Michael Thomas if he walks, and why not go with another Ohio State guy? Chris Olave's on the board. Get that speed out there. Chris Olave going to the Saints.
That's a motherfucker that knows how to run routes, too.
Yeah.
He
I think he's the best route runner in the draft. Best
I
route
do as
runner.
well.
He's really comparable to T.J. McLaurin in my opinion.
Terry McLaurin.
Or Terry McLaurin. I said T.J. Yeah, Terry McLaurin.
Scary
He's
Terry.
very comparable to him.
Alrighty, yeah.
This is a faster, slightly slimmer Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is one of the best route runners in the league, and this kid is so precise in his routes. Fantastic out of his breaks, sets up everything well, knows how to stack guys. Like he knows exactly. He knows how to get open. He will stack.
I actually like that comparison, Mike.
Fantastic, man. I love this kid.
Yeah. That's literally Coop gets open because he's such a good route runner.
Yeah.
I think
I like that comparison.
at best, I think that's how this kid does it as well.
Yeah, but I love this pick because Michael Thomas is going to force his way out of there.
Yeah, I think so.
Where do you guys think Michael Thomas ends up? And do you think
The Browns.
Do you think he performs at the level that he has in the past, though?
No.
Yeah, I think we'll see that drop in production, and realistically, anyone could be looking for him because I mean he's the big body possession type of receivers. He's like his production just was phenomenal before this injury, and you know, other than the little bit of drama over the past couple of years from being a little bit of a whiny bitch, he's
now.
It's been
he is. I don't know what to tell you. He is.
It's I agree.
He's gotten a little emotional.
He's my guy, but he's been a little bitch.
But I mean, I could see him going just about anywhere that needs a wide receiver that's willing to pony up for him if it's a trade.
Do you really think you'd have to pony up that high?
No, I think you could probably
At
get
this
that
point,
right
no.
now.
Yeah,
What kind of trade tag do you
because of
guys-
his
you
contract.
guys
I think if you
get?
come flying in with a 5th round pick, I think New Orleans would take it immediately.
I don't know who wouldn't trade a 5th round pick for him at that point. Shit.
Yeah, give him a 5th and a 7th. I think New Orleans would jump all over it.
Well, the contract is massive. The attitude has been not
Massive.
desirable. Yeah, massive. Like, I think that his people still see him as a supreme talent. Last time he was in the league, led the league in catches. Again, I don't know.
When was the last time you seen him?
2 years ago. I mean, that's
Exactly.
the
What's
So,
another franchise going to give up for that?
thing. The most you give up is a 2. I think a 3.
No, you can't even think about a 2.
3 or a 4 is realistic.
I'm thinking like a 3 or 4.
You ain't going to give it. I don't even think you think about a 3.
What'd y'all give up for
I
Amari?
think you,
We gave up a 5 for Amari, but that was
exactly. Would you feel more comfortable taking on Amari Cooper or Michael Thomas right
And
now?
Amari with the
Amari
bigger
Cooper.
contract.
I would take Amari.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
You come
Yeah.
in with a 5th round pick, New Orleans is going to say, please take you.
But look at the market. Look at what's happened with wide receivers over the last 3 weeks, man. Like, you're getting premium picks for them.
Tyreek
I think-
Hill,
I understand. Trust me,
the
I understand.
cheetah, the fastest guy in the league.
Just because we gave up a 5th for Amari doesn't mean that's the standard. We fucking fleeced the Cowboys. We stole from you guys and then laughed in your face.
You did, but you knew there was nothing else that we can do.
Correct.
What else
exactly.
is New Orleans going to do with him?
Michael Thomas can still just play for them
No, he's not
because
going to play
he's
for New
easily their
Orleans.
best receiver.
He's not going to play for New Orleans.
And you know what?
That
It makes sense.
relationship is done and over with.
It makes sense for New Orleans, and I'm surprised that there hasn't actually been more trade talk this offseason for him because they've been in cap hell.
Yeah.
So relieving them of that cap would be nice. I don't know how much
So
dead
if
money
I
they'd
call
have to take
you-
on.
If I call you as the New Orleans GM, Mike, you play New Orleans GM, and I call you and I say, listen, you're in cap hell. You don't know what to do as far as money, and you know this motherfucker ain't going to play for you. I'll give you the same thing that Dallas got for Cooper. I'll give you the 5th round pick, and I'll even throw in next year's 7th.
And a coach.
I'm gonna
And a Coke. I'll send
say
you a
no.
Coke.
What I'm gonna ask
You're
for
full of
is,
shit.
what I'm gonna ask for is a 3, and I'm gonna make you.
And I'm going to tell you to go to hell because I
I'm
ain't
gonna
looked
make
at
you
this
come up to a 4.
motherfucker in 2 years.
I would settle for it.
Also true.
And I think you guys are wrong with the salary cap. I think you can manipulate that salary cap, and which the
He
Saints have
ain't played
done.
for you in 2 years.
I don't care. I think you can.
So
I
you're just
know-
gonna keep paying him for him not to do jack shit for you.
No, but what I'm saying is you're looking at that as salary cap
Exactly.
thing. That
But I'm-
salary cap is irrelevant.
No, but as another GM, I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna say he ain't played for you in 2 years. You're gonna keep paying him to sit and not play for you.
What are you going to give me?
I'm gonna give you a fifth and next year's 7th.
No.
And a Coke.
And you gonna keep paying him that big ass contract.
All right, maybe if you bump it up to a Bud Light, maybe. But that's it.
Exactly. You're gonna end up taking it.
We do have this
He
comment
ain't
here.
played for you in 2 years, and you just keep paying him that big ass contract.
So Wilson went for us at pick, was it 4?
All right.
4
Yeah,
of the
sorry.
Jets. Yep.
Yeah, so I know people are going to think that's really high. The Jets, I think they have to go all in on Wilson, or they have to admit they're wrong very early.
No,
And
I'm
it's
with
much
Wilson.
more likely they're going to say, we're all in on him.
Yeah. I'm
So-
cool with that.
All right, we're going to go
Chargers
ahead.
are up.
Chargers. That is me. They need. I mean, I don't know what they need at this point. They have completely revamped that defense. They re-signed Mike Williams at receiver. There's been conversations that it's possible that God, who's their other receiver?
Mike Williams and
Keenan Allen.
so it's Keenan
Keenan
Allen. yeah.
Allen. Keenan Allen could be on the block, could be on the move. So I could see a wide receiver here. But the wide receivers that are available, I don't like. Like, I'm not a Drake London guy. I don't know that I'm going to go in that route. I think that at this point, we've seen this kid fall. I understand that it sucks. He's kind of only a one-position fit, but he could be one of the better slot corners in the game. I'm going to go with Trent McDuffie here. That's where I got to go. I'm not a Drake London guy, and it's too high to draft some of the other receivers. So I'm going to go right here with Trent McDuffie.
All right. Well, I'm gonna follow you back up with that with number 18 with the Eagles, and I'm taking Drake London.
Okay.
He's jumping at it.
So you're
Yeah, he's
you're
quick on that
running,
one.
turning the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Drake London would be a fantastic fit for Philly. Philly needs, like Evo said, they need a bigger receiver, or was that you, Mike? They need a bigger receiver to go with all those little piddly small receivers like Devonta Smith.
Mike said it, but we both believe it.
Yeah, I definitely believe. In my opinion, I think Drake London is the top receiver in this draft. And I'm a Buckeye fan through and through, and I love Garrett Wilson. I love Chris Olave, but I think Drake London should be the first guy taken.
Wow. Okay, Evo, go ahead, because I'm excited to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, so first off, McDuffie over to the Chargers, I'm cool with that. Now, they do have some good cornerbacks out there already in J.C. Jackson that just picked up this offseason, and they got Asante Samuels Jr. out there on the other side. So pretty solid at cornerback there for the Chargers, but you're playing out there in the AFC where they've just been loading up with all these talented wide receivers, talented quarterbacks. You need defensive backs to be able to defend against that. And that's really what killed the Chargers, at the end of last season. So that's a great pick for them. Now, as far as Drake London, going to the Eagles, I do like him as a big body wide receiver, a different type of receiver than the Eagles have had in a while. I think he does have a decently low floor. But, I'm listening to Sirius the other day, and they've got Ed McCaffrey on there talking about how he thinks that Drake London could be the next version of him. And I liked Ed McCaffrey out there, that big body wide receiver, able to catch anything thrown his way. So if he's able to do that for Jalen Hurts, that's awesome. I'm not sure that Jalen Hurts is the guy, but it's a good pick for me, in my opinion, that the Eagles go after this guy. I don't know if you remember, Mike, but Goose wanted Drake London, forgot he was on the board, and went another direction,
and
ended up taking another receiver. I want to say Traylon Burks or something like that.
Yeah, Traylon Burks. This is where Goose went last time.
Yep.
Goose,
So
what you got, man?
Man, I'm really debating on the next pick. Man, my head's
We're
spinning.
deep in thought.
Deep.
Is that the liquor or the pick?
No, that's the pig. I'm a professional alcoholic. Make no mistake, homie. Give me Kenny Pickett.
Hey, man. I was thinking about him.
Because it's New Orleans, because they play in a dome, that makes me not as scared with the hand size. That's what I'm scared of. I almost have bigger hands than Kenny Pickett, and I got little bitch hands.
Do you
ain't
guys
playing.
feel like hand size really matters
I
in
do.
the NFL?
Depends on where you
do.
play.
Because I do.
Depends on where you play.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, okay, New Orleans dome.
I mean, I have 9.5-inch hands, and I know how hard it is to grip a full-size NFL football. And my hands are bigger than Kenny Pickett's.
Yeah,
So that's just me.
Evo and I did that little experiment when we found out about Kenny Pickett's hand size.
Yeah, we did as well.
We did too.
Both of our hands are bigger than Kenny Pickett's. I'm 5'7", and my hands are bigger than Kenny Pickett's.
Are you kidding me? I'm 5'11", and mine's barely smaller than Kenny Pickett's.
Is it potentially a problem? Maybe. In New Orleans, is it a problem?
I think it is.
No.
Yeah, in New Orleans, I think it makes it slightly easier up until you got to end up going to Lambeau or.
Yeah, in the wintertime playing in Lambeau,
Yeah.
that's going to be a fucking tough go.
Yeah, but I mean, I think if you're in New Orleans, I think Kenny Pickett is that much more ready than Corral. That the hand size being in a dome doesn't scare you enough to throw you off a Pickett.
Do you like Kenny Pickett better than Jameson Williams, though, over the next, let's say, 5 years?
I like him better next year.
And I don't even like Jameis, but I still don't like him.
I don't either.
I like him better
I don't
next
like
year.
Pickett better than Jameson.
I like Pickett's more athletic.
I don't think so.
I do.
This is
What the
actually
hell have you seen Jameis do anything athletically?
when he was
Other
running
than
out.
fucking-
He was running out of the grocery store with some crab legs. That's athletic
That's
as
about the
fuck.
only time.
Did y'all not see his numbers last year? He had even though he only played like 3 or 4 games last year, he still had like 5 rushing touchdowns and over 200
He had
yards
more
rushing.
than 3 or 4.
So
games.
we watched a lot of Jameis because I buried Jameis a little bit because he made some really fucking piss poor decisions in games they should have won.
He does.
Probably would have made. They could have made the playoffs had they won an extra game, and there were chances that he had to win games and made some really piss poor decisions.
You mean
But
with the
I
Saints or
like
with Tampa,
Jameis.
Mike?
I like Jameis more than
does with
Pickett
both.
right here because Jameis has played in the league. I don't know what Pickett is. I know he's got small hands and played at Pitt. I'm not impressed by the competition. I'm not impressed by the measurables. But I know what Jameis is.
Not either, but I like Pickett's arm strength. I like Pickett's accuracy. I like the fact that Pickett is innovative enough to make a fake slide that nobody else had fucking thought of.
Which is
And
also
changed the
immediately
rules.
outlawed.
Yeah, it changed the rules, but he's smart enough to fucking sit there and go, hey, if I act like I'm going to slide, I bet I can fucking stand back up and take off and score a touchdown. Which he did.
Yeah. It was a great play.
Let's give him credit for what he did.
I see Andy Dalton written all over his face.
I don't like any quarterback in this draft. I don't like
Listen,
none of them.
If you can have an Andy Dalton career, you're pretty fucking happy with yourself.
In
Multiple
this
playoff
draft,
appearances.
I think you'd be thrilled with Andy Dalton.
But would we be talking about Andy Dalton as a first round pick? Because if I remember right, he was a second round pick.
Very early.
Yeah, I think it was first quarterback.
He was
in the
picked
second
like
round.
33rd, 34th, like
Yeah.
very early
Well,
second.
That's this
because they took
entire class.
AJ Green in the
This
first.
entire class is not very good at quarterback.
No.
think, in my opinion, I think the guy who has the highest, the potential to succeed long
Matt
term.
Corral.
No, Desmond Ritter.
No, it's Matt Corral.
No,
I've said it all fucking year. Matt Corral's got the highest ceiling out of any of these guys.
I like Desmond Ritter, but I gotta agree with Juice. I like Matt Corral best out of all these quarterbacks.
I'm a Malik Willis man
He's-
myself.
No, Matt Corral is boom or bust. If you're going to go
No, Willis
absolute.
is boom or bust.
No, Corral's boom or bust as well.
I don't think
both
he
of
Because
the
if
guys,
his legs
both
don't
of those
work in the
people are boom or
NFL,
bust.
he's bust.
I think Ritter is a guy that if he doesn't become a starter, he is at least a 10-year backup. Ritter is the safe play, in my opinion.
He'll be a great Mitch Trubisky. Like,
I think Pickett and Ritter are the most pro-ready quarterbacks out of all these guys.
yeah, Ritter's probably. I don't know. I really think Kenny Pickett can play.
I struggle to see Ritter.
I think Kenny Pickett can play.
I struggle to see Ritter making it into the first round this year, but I think someone's going to have a nice project in him.
Somebody's going to reach.
The second, they might, and it could be.
Gonna reach.
It could be this next pick.
Or it could be.
Very well.
It could be this next pick.
It could be.
No.
All right, so
you're right. Pittsburgh can do
next
it.
pick is up. Pittsburgh and Evo's on the clock.
It can't.
Oh,
be
boy.
the next pick.
It could. They could. I agree with you. They could go quarterback here.
I mean, they could go with Desmond Ritter, or they could take your Matt Corral pick. I mean, he sits behind Trubisky.
They could go quarterback here. Just to say, hey, don't worry, Trubisky, you're our starter. You're going to bridge this guy along. Like,
You can't throw left.
you're at 20. You can do anything at this point.
I mean, the Steelers were interested in Baker Mayfield. Matt Corral, he's been compared to Baker Mayfield quite a bit in this draft.
I think Mac's better than Baker coming out.
I agree.
I don't have enough time to go in on that one. Matt Corral is not Baker. Baker's not Matt Corral. And,
You're right.
Baker's not who we thought he was.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, I think Matt Corral's better. You're right. He's not.
No.
All right.
I agree to disagree there, but let's get on Evo. Let's go ahead. Let's. I want to see what you're gonna do with this Pittsburgh pick because I'm excited for you to fuck this up. Like I know they probably won't because this is the Pittsburgh Steelers and
They won't.
really good at drafting.
They never do.
Fuck it up
Well,
for the
never
mock
fucking
draft at least. Come
They
on,
won't.
Evo.
It don't matter. They can fucking take the worst available guy on that thing.
And he'll turn out to be
being a Hall of
decent.
Famer.
Yeah.
So
Like it's how Pittsburgh works.
I do think that we're going to see the Pittsburgh Steelers take a quarterback in this draft. I don't know that it's going to be here. I don't think it's going to be here. I could see a guy like a Ritter or, a Howell or Corral or something like that being taken in the second round. I could see them moving around to make that happen, right? But I don't know that I'm seeing them taking a quarterback here in the first round just because I think that they feel all right with Trubisky being there for at least this year. All right?
Yeah, so they got him for 2, so he's going to be there minimum this year.
Watch.
Yep.
Watch.
But what they do want to do is they want to shore up that offensive line and get a mean road grader out there. They need a tackle.
Oh, hold on. Maybe not.
Because their tackle just left. Their former Army Ranger tackle just left. All right? They're going to go out there and they're going to get the mean dude, Trevor Penny, out of Northern Iowa. All right? The guy that's going to be a great teammate.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be a great teammate until he goes up against TJ Watt.
I was going to say, big man of juice. Have you seen Trevor Penny in his tape from the Senior Bowl?
I have. I love it.
Yeah, I like Trevor Penny. He's to me
a Pittsburgh guy.
He's more
He's
of a
a
pass
walking
blocker than a
hold.
road grader. And I think what?
You ain't watched this film from the Senior Bowl, have you?
No, I haven't seen the Senior Bowl.
The
but
motherfucker
I have
slinging
seen
people.
I have seen his. The
Oh,
Senior Bowl's one fucking game.
Oh,
I've seen all
hell.
season this guy.
Every
He's
bit
been
of his
more of a
training.
pass. He's been more of a pass blocker.
Everything
He is very
he's
good.
done
He was very good
since
pass
the
protection to you and I.
offseason.
He was very, very good at it.
He's
Great pick.
Walking
Great
hole.
pick.
I'm not saying that it's a bad pick. I would like to see him be a better
It's a
run
great
blocker,
pick.
in my opinion.
It's a great pick.
I'm super pumped about this pick.
I cannot believe you don't know how to draft.
All right, I brought up the video
I
here.
believe
Alright,
that you're
so,
drafting.
By the way,
And you're
we're on
sucking it up.
YouTube,
Oh.
we're on Facebook.
Look,
we are
look, pay
discussing
attention.
this pick. This is fair use. We're not stealing your shit. We are discussing this. But yeah, he is. He's got a decent
Pay
set.
attention.
Like a decent stance, decent set.
Quit
But
looking at your laptop.
he
Look,
is.
Bam.
Oh,
Boom,
okay.
gone.
So
He got beat there.
he oversets right there. If this kid can control himself, he's going to be okay.
Pursued, yeah.
But he oversets every once in a while, and he is way too handsy. He holds too much. He thinks that he's throwing people to the ground and he's showing off. And he's a walking hold right now.
But he's mean,
that's what we're
and
seeing.
you don't think Pittsburgh, of all organizations, can't fix that?
I agree.
I
think it could work. I think it could absolutely work.
He's big,
but
he's
I
mean.
tell you what, I promise you, if you try to do this to Myles Garrett in that division, Myles is going to kill this kid.
But show me another guy available right now that can physically
Johnson,
that can physically go against Myles Garrett.
In this draft, there isn't one. I would not
That
have
is
gone offensive
available
line here.
right now.
I would not have gone offensive line right here.
So
what they should have done is attack offensive line in the offseason because they're picking
But
too late to really get a guy. For me, I'd have gone Devonta Wyatt or George Karlaftis. That's where I would have gone with this pick.
All right. Me personally, I would address the interior offensive line, in my opinion. I think that's more prudent and more.
What good does a rookie guard do you?
The best offensive lineman in the draft is still available in Tyler Linderbaum.
Agreed.
Who's their center? I don't know enough about Pittsburgh. Who's their center?
Fuck, I don't know.
If he was Philly center, I'd probably know it.
I'm watching the kid. He wants to fight more than he wants to block.
Right, which fits Pittsburgh.
But but it's not going to work. He's oversetting. He is a right tackle. He's not a left tackle.
But
you
Pittsburgh
cannot
can
leave
fix
this
it.
kid in pass protection against the best rusher.
That's
not the guy.
I don't think he's that great of a run blocker either.
I trust Pittsburgh's coaching staff to fix that.
I
disagree.
Listen,
Pittsburgh
I trust Pittsburgh's coaching staff, but they don't. This is not Bill Callahan that we're talking about. This is not the best offensive line coach. If they had a great offensive line coach, they would have coached up this last group who about got fucking Ben killed.
Now, I'll jump in here and say this. I kind of almost regret the pick already because I just looked up the depth chart for the Steelers. Their starting center is Mason Cole, who was the Vikings' backup center last year.
Yeah.
And our center is dog shit.
And he was the backup.
And Mason Cole came in and played all right for some of those games that he played. He also has versatility as a swing guard. We picked up Mason Cole last year from the Cardinals, made a trade for like a 5th or 6th round pick for him, and he actually was a swing interior lineman for us and played some center and did okay. He was an upgrade over our current center, so he's still not starter level to me.
I just like
and so Linderbaum would have been good.
Tyler
and that's where I was
great. I'd have gone edge. I'd have gone interior defensive line because that is an aging defense. I would love to have somebody opposite of T.J. Watt, like a Karlaftis.
I said that.
Yeah, Karlaftis would have been a bad pick either.
I said that.
Yeah.
When I was sitting over here pointing and muting my mic, I pointed to Karlaftis. I like that pick as well, but I like big and mean in Pittsburgh.
And that's where I was going. I thought big, mean Pittsburgh.
Like big, mean Pittsburgh.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Mike. I think I would have rather went with a defensive end, edge rusher, or, and me personally, on the interior of the offensive line.
I mean, I don't hate the center pick, but I like big mean.
Yeah.
I just do.
All right, so next up, we got Mike with the New England Patriots.
And this one, if I'm the Patriots, if I'm fucking Bill Belichick, I am sprinting to the fucking podium, and I'm putting in the car for George Karlaftis. I just got rid of an edge defender linebacker, and this kid is absolutely prototypical. This has got Patriots written all fucking over him. He plays multiple positions. You can put him at a linebacker, put him at a D end. This is perfect for Bill. This happened in our last draft where somebody who just absolutely fits their scheme falls to them, and it fucking happens again
every
because
year
the
when you leave
Patriots,
one.
that's what they do.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Greek Freak.
It happens every year with New England.
Yeah, I love this George Karlaftis pick. I think he's a rugged defensive end, edge rusher type that would fit perfectly with New England.
Yeah.
All right.
Who was the linebacker that they just cut, Evo? We just talked about it last episode.
The guy from BYU with 3 names, Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, Kyle Van Noy. So they just cut Kyle Van Noy. You know who slides right into that Kyle Van Noy spot is a fucking George Karlaftis, man. Like, it's annoying.
Yep. All right. So next up, we got Green Bay Packers big man selecting for him.
All right. So
Go ahead.
The Green Bay Packers have quite a few needs at wide receiver. They also have 2 picks in the first round. I could see them.
They just got Sammy Watkins. You don't think that's good enough for him?
Yeah, I did see Sammy Watkins. That might replace.
Now you've done this whole draft doing what you think the team's going to do, not what you're going to do. Don't change it now.
Right.
Don't change it.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, don't change it.
You know,
because you know they're not going to go wide receiver round 1.
They
know they're not.
they got 2 first-round picks, so I'm not going to say that. This actually might be the first year that they go.
They're not going to do it.
Linebackers up there as well. N'Kobe Dean is a really high prospect, but I see Traylon Burks sitting there. I also see Christian Watkins sitting, which is a little lesser known guy, but I like Traylon Burks, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with Traylon Burks with the 22nd overall pick. This is the first time that they would pick a first-round draft pick wide receiver since I think 2002 Javon Walker.
Yeah, that's been the Packers' MO. They pay Aaron Rodgers all this money, and then he gets pissed off because they don't bring any sort of offensive talent for him or draft his replacement, apparently, in Jordan Love. Traylon Burks, real interesting guy, 6'2", 225, and he keeps on getting compared to like a Deebo Samuels type of guy. I don't know if I see that, but
I don't see that, but I see a lot of other guys.
Who would you compare him to?
All right,
oh man, let's see, 6'2", 225. Wow, and he's a good down. I don't know. I mean, Debo's a little smaller. I mean, maybe he is with the speed.
This is not Debo.
He got deceptive athleticism, but I don't know. I mean, he's a little bit of a polarizing prospect to me. I would actually have to go back and look at some more tape.
Right?
Yep. So NFL.com and Lance Zierlein has him compared to an A.J. Brown, but with more wiggle.
Maybe.
I think that would be like way exceeding his potential.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that would be his ceiling, definitely.
Whose pick was this? Who was picking for the Packers?
This is
here?
big man.
Big man with the Packers. Oh man, so I'm not a Traylon guy. I think that they could absolutely do this because, well, then again, they could go anywhere opposite of what Aaron wants.
Yeah.
Which is your receiver.
We do have a comparison. We do have a comparison of Josh Gordon as well.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't
Josh
think he's
was
as
bigger
fast
and
as
faster.
Gordon.
Yeah.
Another pick that I got here that I thought about was Andrew Booth from Clemson, the cornerback from Clemson. They do have a need there, but right now I think their wide receiver need trumps everything else. So if they don't go at wide receiver 22, they'll most definitely at 28.
Yeah. I don't see them walking out of the first round without a wide receiver, and I got one of their picks coming up here. And if you didn't take a wide receiver here, I was probably going to have to take one there for him because I don't see, even with the Sammy Watkins signing, that's just a guy at this point. That's not fixing their wide receiver room. They need guys to throw to. And even though
you got to replace Adams.
Yeah, you see it year in and year out. Aaron Rodgers is still able to make things happen with guys that normally would be like number 3s or 4s on other teams. And I think that's going to bode well for Traylon Burks. Traylon Burks will reach his potential and probably higher because he's got a guy like Aaron Rodgers throwing to him.
Right.
But they had to bring someone in to help out that receiving room. Whether or not it's Traylon Burks or another guy, I don't know. Like I said, you're going to get the max potential out of him probably, and there's no way in my mind that they walk out of this first round without a wide receiver. Then again, it's Gutekunst picking for him, and they like to do things to piss Aaron Rodgers off, so you never know.
Now, do you and Juice, Evo, do you and Juice want to switch picks
I was
since
about to say,
pick
I want
23
to.
is the Cardinals and 24 is the Cowboys? So do you want to pick 23 on this one?
I want to. If you want to do it.
I'm all for it.
Yeah,
All
well,
right,
we
you
should
go
let
ahead
Juice
and take
pick his
23,
team.
and I'll take 24.
Absolutely. So I'll go ahead then and pick here for the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm going to take the same guy I took last time.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there on the board for me, Devonta Wyatt.
Yep.
They need interior defensive line help, and Devonta Wyatt is a guy that he could definitely go higher than here. There's been mocks with him being taken top 10. So Devonta Wyatt from that dominant Georgia defense, he's going to help them out there on the interior for the Arizona Cardinals.
Do you guys believe Wyatt will be drafted in the first round? You think he'll be?
Yes,
Well,
I
I
think
agree.
his combine
Right.
elevated him enough.
Yeah, I think he definitely is a first rounder.
All right. There's a lot of great defenders on this Georgia team, and Wyatt.
I would not be surprised to see another one go with the next pick, actually.
Okay. Let's
Georgia's
see it.
fantastic.
Juice?
They were so good on defense. Devontae's really good. The Cardinals need to improve their defense. That offense is really good, but they could probably use another wide receiver. I'm really high on Sky Moore, but I think first round might be a little high for him unless you're getting back end of top of the second round, maybe back end of the first, but that still feels kind of high. This is a guy who's coming in projected third, fourth round, but is absolutely blown up. So I'd like the idea of going defense there, especially a guy who can hopefully eat up some space and then allow those linebackers that Cardinals have drafted over the last couple of years to actually fucking roam the field like they were designed to do.
Okay.
All right, Juice, it's your time. Cowboys up.
Okay, so I don't think I love Nakobe Dean. I don't
Uh-huh.
think that's where they go. I don't see the need at linebacker. I
Really?
just don't. No, you have Leighton Vander Esch.
You think Van Der Esch is going to stay there?
Constantly hurt.
You have Micah Parsons.
Exactly.
I just
You got
I just
one.
don't.
You got one. I don't think Van Der Esch is the guy.
I think Vander Esch.
See, I think-
bothers me.
I think Vander Esch's health bothers me, but I just don't. I think offensive line's the bigger need. You've let
Okay.
3 of them go already this offseason. I think Zion Johnson's the right pick here.
Ooh.
Wow. That was
So
not
is that
what I
where-
was-
that's where
No,
you're
I
going?
like that pick, though.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. You've let. I can't remember the left guard's name, but you let him walk to Miami. You let Cleveland sign or Cincinnati sign. Shit.
Lyle Collins.
Lyle Collins.
Yeah, Lyle
right
Collins.
tackle.
Tyron
And it
Smith
was-
is a shell of himself.
Connor Williams is the one that went to Miami, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Connor Williams is the one that went to Miami. You still haven't replaced Travis Frederick, but the center's already gone. Zion Johnson. I mean, maybe Linderbaum.
Okay, so I'm getting the line. I understand why they need to rebuild the line. That line is not what it used to be when there was no doubt in anybody's mind who the best offensive line in football
Right.
was.
It feels like that was
Cowboys
only
for a long time.
It feels like that was only a year ago or 2 years ago. Before,
Yeah, but I
yeah,
mean,
other than
it's
this last
it's
season.
turned into where it's gone. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, and it's gone very fast. Like it immediately disappeared.
And I love Zion Johnson. I think he's the best pure guard in this class. I love what he
You
did up
just
there
put
in
him
DC.
you just put him on the other side of Zach Martin. You can go right up the gut. I think, like I said,
That ain't going to fix
Linderbaum
Zeke Elliott.
It's not, but you got a two-headed monster there now.
That's true.
Well, yeah. Listen, I'm a big
So-
Zeke guy. I love Zeke. He's an Ohio State guy.
Yeah.
And
But
I love
I'm
Zeke
not
too.
sure.
Like,
I'm not
I
sure
love that
Zeke's the
pick
best
when they
running
took
back
him.
in Dallas anymore.
I'm not either. So,
And-
but I mean, you're basically playing on 50-50 at this point. So you might as well put somebody that can road grade in front of him.
At the end of the day, you got your guy Dak Prescott that you got to protect. Zion Johnson's going to be able to do that.
Oh, he's a stud. So good. I raved about this kid last time we were doing this. He's so fucking good.
Zion's the best guard in this draft, hands down. I mean, a lot of people, saying Kenyon Green for Texas
No,
A&M.
I'm
And you're
not a
at
Kenyon Green
24,
guy.
guys.
So Zion is the second best interior offensive line in this draft because I put Linderbaum in front of him. But he is fucking so
That's
good.
the only other pick I would have picked ahead of Zion, to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've been sitting here debating it since I sat here and said, please trade me.
The one trade that we're doing in the draft.
Yeah. Like, just please trade me the pick, and you didn't take either one of them, so I'm like, shit. Now I gotta
You gotta go with one,
Like-
right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Zion because I don't know. I just like him.
Yeah.
Breaking the hearts of Tampa Bay fans everywhere, by the way.
Yeah, I hate
Fuck
that
them
for
though,
you.
right?
Yeah,
We'll see.
I don't care.
We'll see if
You might still
Tampa-
get Linderbaum at that.
that's
pick,
Tampa
right?
Bay might not be so sad if Linderbaum falls to him.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
I
can tell
mean,
you, I promise you, Linderbaum's not going with the next pick.
I don't
Even
hate.
though he's
either
one of my
those
favorite guys in this draft.
Yeah, and that's the next pick is the Buffalo Bills. Mike, who you taking?
Buffalo
Yeah,
Bills and
there
I
you
am
go.
up, and you know what? I'm going to do the same goddamn thing I did last time. So, in my opinion, there's a fucking top 5 pick on the board who is not going to be able to play this year. He is fantastic. Maybe the best pure pass rusher in this draft. And you know what the Bills don't need? Somebody to contribute immediately because that team is ready to win a Super Bowl right fucking now. I am taking David Ojabo because the potential is insanely high. And when I lose one of those veterans, you know who steps immediately in? I don't lose a beat and we're still competing for fucking Super Bowls and going to get it with all the guys that we just re-signed. Goddamn David Ojabo. Let's go. Buffalo Bills fans, I'm sure, would be thrilled if this kid falls.
I love the pick.
No hate.
When you made this pick last time, it was the guy that I was banging the table for as well. Right now, the Bills have Greg Rousseau, they've got Shaq Lawson, they've got Boogie Basham, all along at their end spots, but they're not going to be able to keep all those guys going, and this team is already fucking loaded.
Yep.
So if they're able to bring in another pass rusher like an Ojabo, who before the Achilles tear I thought is at least a top 10 pick, and hasn't even reached his potential there at Michigan yet, I think it's a great pick for him. They're able to sit him, stash him away, and then they're going to have just one of the scariest pass rushes when it comes down, whether it's the end of this year or looking towards the future next year.
All right. Big Man Juice, you guys got anything on the Ojabo pick?
I don't hate it at all.
I mean, other than the fact that he's a Michigan bitch,
Yeah.
he was rated extremely high prior to the injury. I don't hate this pick. Maybe I might have went with a Kenyon Green. Depends on how this front office likes the running back class. I could possibly see a running back possibly sneaking in the first round. Of Breece Hall possibly. Buffalo needs a running back. They need a marquee running back, which they do not have.
They're about to
Singletary
trade for one from the
is not
Cleveland Browns, by the way.
Oh, you think Buffalo's going to go
Is
after?
that a fact or
So listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's been a lot of conversations about Browns bringing in rookie running backs, and there's absolutely no reason for the Browns to bring in a rookie running back. Period. Right? We have
Unless
3
they're
backs,
trading
in my
one of the
opinion,
running backs.
that could start on, I don't know, at a minimum of 10 teams if we're talking about Johnson, and then if we're talking about Kareem Hunt, he could probably start on 25 other teams.
Oh, we better not get rid of Kareem Hunt.
A bunch of them. He can start on a bunch of them.
But
every
we
one
are,
of them?
for some
I don't know
reason,
about
we
all
are
of them,
bringing
but-
in visits for rookie running backs, which makes me think that there's a very strong possibility one of them is on the move. And if there's a team that needs a running back, it's probably the Bills.
Now, I do have a question. Did the only Johnson was a free agent. Did we re-sign him?
So he is a restricted free agent. We have put a tender on him. He has just fired his agent, hired a new one, and that's one of the reasons that there's a lot of smoke around. Somebody on that in that running back room is going to be moved.
If the right price is available, I would be comfortable trading.
Give me a 6 for Johnson. Give me a 6. Take his money off my books. Give me a 6. Like, don't get me wrong. He's a very good back, but he's not going to play. Like,
Right.
So I will take anything I can get for the kid and take his money off my books.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Alrighty. Well, that takes us to the Tennessee Titans. Big man, you're up.
All right. Tennessee Titans could go a number of different ways. I mean,
This is your team away from your team.
There's questions at the quarterback positions. There's questions at cornerback. There's questions at linebacker. I mean, they got a lot of needs for like depth and starters as well. Their biggest need to me is probably linebacker, but I'm going with best player available on this one. They do need a center, and the best center on the board.
Thank you.
Probably the best offensive lineman.
I was going to jump on it.
Tyler Linderbaum.
Thank you,
I was
because if you
gonna
weren't
jump
fucking
on
taking
it.
Linderbaum.
I mean,
gonna say,
Linderbaum's the best.
The Chiefs will be running with that pick for Linderbaum in his next
pick.
pick.
In a long time.
Yeah, I was going to take him.
I don't know if you saw me sitting back here. I was like, if he doesn't say Linderbaum, I don't. Oh my God! Like the Titans just lost their starting center. They are not great up front. I understand they needed a receiver. There isn't one there right now unless you're really high on Sky Moore, like I am. But I would take Linderbaum over Sky Moore any day, every day.
I think I'm a little higher on Christian Watkins than I am Sky Moore.
Ooh. I mean, different types of receivers.
Yeah,
And-
definitely different types.
Me, I'm almost more high on George Pickens over all those names.
Yeah, I like George Pickens.
I'm not taking Muhammad Massaquoi too. I'm not fucking doing it.
Hey, I feel it, but you know what? Before his injury, George Pickens was considered probably one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver, and then Jameson Williams showed up.
You know who else was too? Muhammad fucking Massaquoi from the same goddamn school. I'm not fucking doing it, man. I said Ohio State as a Browns guy. I'm sworn. All right.
Fair enough.
We got enough players that we're scorned over. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Damn,
Juice.
I don't know where to go now.
Sorry, that easy
Sorry, Juice.
layup there is no longer available.
That layup's
Layup's
not
gone.
available. Oh, shit. Down there in the bottom right. Oh, shit.
Oh, I mean, I think I know where I'd go. With our board the way it is, I think I'd know where I go because I'm not high on some of the players at certain positions for the Bucks. But I don't know if you guys are tracking the same thing that you're on the same page as me and Evo. So, but I know where I'd go.
Damn. I'm almost think it's a trade out position.
You think it's a trade out?
I agree.
position?
I think it's if the board falls this way, this is a trade down position.
Yeah. All right. Give me Andrew Booth.
Alrighty. Andrew Booth, cornerback out of Clemson.
Evo, where would you have gone?
Right.
Because I think that I would have done the same thing.
Okay.
With Andrew
All
Booth?
right.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking as well. I'm not a big fan of all the cornerbacks that they have out there in Tampa Bay, and I think Andrew Booth is a solid cornerback. We talked a lot about your Stingleys and your Sauce. I think Booth is up there with them. I think he's a very good cornerback. He's not as good as those two that I mentioned, but he's a very solid cornerback, and I think it helps them out easily down there in Tampa Bay.
I think Booth can play inside and outside. And you and I, Evo, you and I are both not sold on the cornerback group they got down in Tampa. I think that they're a little overrated. I think that the pass rush has helped out those corners way more than those corners have done anything. So getting another corner here, I think, is fantastic, especially if the board falls this way. The only other way I could have seen going was maybe in the Kobe Dean, just because I'm going to be looking to replace a linebacker here in the next year or two.
Yeah, I mean, I considered Kenyon Green as well.
Yeah, I would have looked at Kenyon Green and thought about it.
Offensive line, the interior of it, you've lost spots
I'm not a Kenyon Green guy. I don't think he fits.
I mean, I don't like him in the first round, but I mean, I thought maybe, like I said, this is a trade out spot, but I can't trade out, so.
The only reason why I would have maybe gone Kenyon Green instead of Carlton Davis here is because you've got Tom Brady and you've just lost major pieces on your interior offensive line. And Tom Brady he retired and came back. You don't know when he's going to just retire again. And so you got to kind of protect him as much as you can right now. And that bringing in a Kenyon Green to start right away is that more win now move possibly. But like Mike said, we're not sold on their defensive backfield, especially at the cornerback position. They just brought Carlton Davis back. I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah,
they got Jamel Dean across from him, Ross Cockrell, Sean Murphy Bunting, who I do like Sean Murphy Bunting, but bringing in a Booth Jr. right now, I think he's easily going to be able to step into that starting lineup. He can play both inside and outside, so you're able to have either that nickel guy, or if one of your cornerbacks goes down, which was one of their issues in the end of the season, you're able to have more guys in that cornerback room that can replace them right away.
I also like Kyer Elam from Florida as a cornerback. Besides Kenyon Green.
I just like Booth better.
I like Booth better than Elam.
Yeah, me too.
I agree. I like Booth just slightly better than I do Elam. Elam would probably be my second cornerback behind Booth.
Yeah.
I think I probably would have went with Kenyon Green as well.
Booth is a first rounder. Elam, I think, could sneak into the first round, but he's more of a second rounder.
Evo, I did love your Freudian slip there with Carlton. That you called Booth Carlton Davis because I knew we were about to both bury Carlton Davis.
Oh,
we
did I?
do not. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was fantastic. I was like, yep. There it is, because Carlton Davis is not nearly as good as people make him out to be. That's the train that we're both on, me and Evo. I don't know how
I agree with
feel
that.
about it. I just this makes sense to me. Carlton Davis is back on a 1-year deal. There's a reason he didn't get locked up long term. I think this is a really smart pick. It gives you options to move off from Carlton Davis after a year. So.
Yeah, I agree with you guys on that. I think Davis is overrated.
All right.
Alrighty.
So, are you ready, Evo? I decided I was gonna do it for you this time.
All right. Hey, I'm down for it. So you've got a lot of issues here on this Packers team. Now, they just addressed wide receiver, and I guess it's not impossible that they could go wide receiver again, because that room needs a lot of help. But I'm not going to do it because that
makes too much sense.
That is that's not
way
happening.
too much sense.
All right.
You ain't done
But
it in years. Why would you do it twice this year?
now they do need some offensive line help, and their defense is not looking the best. You got Nakobe Dean sitting here. I know that was actually brought up previously as an option. I think that Nakobe Dean, first round pick, he could have gone much earlier. We're going to go with Nakobe Dean to help out their linebacker room.
Kobe Dean.
Yeah, man, I like this pick. I don't think there's any way that Nakobe Dean falls unless people are worried about the size because he is very short. He's like 6 foot, maybe even a little shorter.
He'll be playing the right inside linebacker spot in their defense, I believe. They've got Rashawn Gary on the edge, Preston Smith as a weak side linebacker, Devondre Campbell.
That's it, Devondre.
And their right inside linebacker, according to ESPN, is Chris Barnes, Krys, Chris Barnes, who I have no idea who that is, and they don't want to run into the season with that guy being a starter.
They re-signed a linebacker, right? Who was the linebacker that re-signed? They had to keep. It wasn't a Smith.
Devondre Campbell and Preston Smith.
Okay, so it was Devondre. So Preston Smith, fine. Devondre was the best linebacker in that core. They had to re-sign him. I think this fits. He's going to be able to play coverage in that 3-4 scheme, and it helps that defense a lot because this defense is going to get gutted. The offensive already got fucking gutted. They're in salary cap hell because Aaron Rodgers is a selfish prick, who I love, by the way. A selfish prick that I love. But yeah, they're going to have to build on the defense, especially up front or at the second level. Their secondary is not bad, and they don't have any receivers, so they address receiver in this draft. They address second level as linebacker. It makes sense. I'm surprised Nakobe was still there, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Safety.
All righty, fellas. So that brings us to the Buffalo Bills. Oh, wait, nope, never mind.
Nope, just
Psych. Kansas City Chiefs for Mike with their first pick. They got 2 in a row.
Mike?
Oh, man. So this is tough. I think this is a little high. But the Chiefs need to really, really address the defense. I know they just got rid of one of the best receivers in football. I thought about going Sky Moore here, but they just signed was it not Sammy Watkins? That was. Did they just sign a receiver, or am I losing my mind?
They got a wide receiver. They've got Juju Smith-Schuster.
That was it, Juju. They just signed Juju, so they're getting somebody. So I don't know if they're not getting enough.
And Marquez Valdez-Scantling, MVS
as well. So they got 2 receivers who are not nearly as good as the guy they got rid of, but they're not getting the Honey Badger back. I think that this is a late round. He is mocked as a late round guy. Lewis Cine out of Georgia, another Georgia defender going in the first round. This defense needs a ton of fucking help. I could see Elam going here, but they need help at the safety spot, so I'm going Lewis Cine.
Alrighty. Safety going there for the Chiefs, and then back-to-back Chiefs picks.
Well, that's literally what we were debating was who to look at for the next one, and we were saying I was saying I think he goes safety with the first one, so quit looking at safeties.
Yeah, there's not a safety on the board, of which you picked Lewis Cine, which I'm in sync with you there. I probably would have picked Cine there. I guess wide receiver would be the next obvious pick, considering that they got rid of Hill. Edge is another possible pick since the wide receiver class is so.
Which I said as well, which I'd like to get Charles' input. I don't know if I believe in Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I don't know that I'd pick a running back in the first round.
So I'm sitting here at 30, like.
I don't take a running back in the first round this year. Would I do it in other years? Yes. Would I do it this year? No. I'm not sure I'd take a running back before the 3rd round this year.
I think Breece Hall could make it into the 2nd round, and if you're talking about a running back in the 1st round, it would be Breece Hall. I don't know. For you guys, I love running backs. I just do not like their positional value in the 1st round at all, because you can tend to get guys 2nd round and later that are going to be big contributors. I mean, you've got Mixon, Dalvin Cook. You've got all these running backs that are going in the 2nd.
Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook, and Joe Mixon are all 2nd round picks.
I fall under that.
Those are
same
top 5
category,
running backs
but
in the NFL.
Is there really that big of a difference between the number 30 pick and a 2nd round pick?
I think there is, because you got that 5th round option.
Exactly. So
I don't think you use that on a running back when, I can see, like, actually, I think this is a prime spot for a trade back, to be honest with you guys. But if we're not doing a trade back here, it's got to be either edge rusher or wide receiver. And considering the fact that they got rid of their best wide receiver, and they did replace him with Juju, but that's not a replacement.
And Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
And they got Valdez-Scantling as well. Which
they
actually
also got
I forgot
McCall
about
Hardman.
that.
McCall Hardman.
Nah, Mecole's not that guy.
Yeah, he hasn't lived up to the expectations.
Mecole is just a guy. He's a jag.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, we just named 3 guys.
I mean, I don't know. I think you have to come away with the wide receiver.
Do you have a
Three
guy
guys
at
who
30?
are just guys.
But do you have
Don't get me wrong, you got the best tight end in football.
Do you have a guy at 30?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, y'all
This
tell
is
me, because
tough,
I don't know. It's hard.
I mean,
I'm glad you got it, not me. Like,
yeah, this is a really hard pick for me. There's a couple picks that I was actually looking at. One of them being Arnold Ebiketie from Penn State. It was actually a pretty good defensive end. But I really think that they need to go with wide receiver here. And why not, take a chance on a guy like, Christian Watkins. He's from a small school. He's got the measurables. He's got everything that you would want from. I mean, he's 6'4", 208 pounds. Runs a 4.40. I mean, he's nothing like anything that they got. So I think that would be a fantastic pick for them. So let's go with Christian Watkins, North Dakota State wide receiver.
All right, Christian Watson.
So I'd like Christian Watson. I think he is a very good receiver. But I got receivers on my board that are higher than Christian. I'm a big Sky Moore guy. I've heard
Christian
you guys say that
Watkins.
you're
Now,
not a Sky
I
Moore
will
guy.
say Watkins is more of a boom or bust pick, but I think with him going to Kansas City, he's a higher boom risk than he is a bust.
See, I love Sky Moore just because of the things that you could do with him offensively. You can line him up and basically you can put him on the X, you can put him on the Y, you can fucking play him out of the H spot. Like, there's so many positions you can move this kid that I really, really like, and that's very much that Tyreek.
Sky Moore would be more comparable to Tyreek, I think, but I don't know. Christian Watkins just nothing like they have on their team. Big 6'4", 6'5" guy that just I mean the sky's the limit for this guy.
Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. Our Browns are talking about taking this guy in the 2nd round, so
I would love to have him.
I hope he fucking pans out. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the right fit, but
All right. So next up, we got Juice picking here for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Kenyon Green,
yeah.
Kenyon Green, just like that.
give him to me.
Alrighty.
I need offensive line help.
I mean,
I
after
think
all,
you can go defense, but I've got to have O-line help. He's the best O lineman left on the board.
All right.
There's no way. Like,
I mean, listen. Kenyon Green's not going to be a bad player. I don't know if he's going to be a world. I don't know if he's fantastic. And the Bengals have done a really good job of addressing that interior offensive line. For me, if I'm the Bengals right here and the board falls this way, I'm going corner so I can get rid of fucking Eli Apple.
I considered that, but you've already re-signed Eli Apple.
For a year. 1 year, though.
Maybe. I mean,
I don't
but
know.
what do you do if Eli Apple pans out and has a good season next year?
We're talking about Eli Apple.
You let him walk and you get a compensatory pick.
I feel like this was a good pick, but I also felt like the Bengals have done enough in free agency to not have to address the line in the first round.
I mean, I said it when me and you talked. That I thought they had one of the best off seasons that has happened thus far because they have addressed O-line. They got.
I mean, they still need safety help. They could use help, at corner.
Somebody help me with the name from the kid from Tampa.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex Kappa.
Kappa.
Kappa
Yeah,
or no? Ali Marpet is who retired, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Marpet's retired.
And then
Kappa's who.
Marpet
Cincinnati
retired, and then
signed.
it's Kappa from. Who's
and
the
then you got the interior lineman from New England, and then you got Lyle Collins.
Ted Karras. So their line right now is Jonah Williams at left tackle, Jackson Carman at left guard, which is the weak spot. Ted Karras.
So can you not play Green at left guard?
Yeah, you slot Green at left guard.
Yep. Ted Karras at center, Alex Kappa right guard, and Lyle Collins at right tackle.
And then you've got a solid O-line, which was your absolute weak spot on a Super Bowl contending team.
Protecting your investment in Joe Burrow and probably allowing him to do even more with that protection.
Which, correct me if I'm wrong, protecting Joe Burrow is more important than a secondary.
I would believe so.
I would
right
agree.
now.
I would agree. Yes, absolutely. That was the reason that they lost the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I agree that you can go corner here.
With the way the boards
But
come out,
just
I
to
felt
me,
like
Honestly,
slot
they can
Green
get a guy in the
and-
second round who can do what Eli Apple does.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you do let Eli Apple walk, you can get a guy in the second round that does do what Eli Apple does.
Yeah, you got Tyler Gordon
Which is
with
get
Washington.
torched for a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not
Absolutely.
better than what Eli Apple does it.
Yeah.
All right. Now with the last pick here in the
What you
first
got?
round, we got
Motor City Dan Campbell.
the
Now, remember,
Motor City
that quarterback
Kitties.
was the first pick, or
And
the second pick.
If the quarterback wasn't taken there already, that's where we'd be looking. But obviously we can't do that, so I've got to scramble here a little bit. Now it's between two guys for me. Sky Moore, who I like, and I think that he could be definitely a good receiving option for them out there. Package him next to St. Brown, that'd be a pretty good option.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Kyer Elam here, best cornerback available on the board. They need defensive back help. And I think, like I said, he could sneak into the first round, but he's more of a day two guy to me. But I'm going to go with Kyer Elam out of Florida.
I mean, it makes sense. They need a lot of help everywhere. They
It's
signed
best
a
player to me.
So we talked about this before, right? They signed a receiver to go opposite of St. Brown, right?
Yes. Who it is, I don't recall off the top of my head.
DJ Chark.
Shark, yeah. So, I mean, I think that works. You get the best player available when you need all of this help. So, it works for me, especially since they attacked quarterback early in the draft.
Yeah. Their wide receiver room is Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif Raymond, DJ Shark, Quintez Cephas, and Josh Reynolds. So there's a lot of threes in there, third wide receivers and stuff, but they do have a decent receiving group, or at least one that's passable.
I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown played like a 1, was getting 1 numbers, but is probably a 2 that we talked about.
Let's not make no mistake. DJ Chark was looked at just 2 years ago was the number one receiver.
He was. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
actually a number one. I think Amon-Ra
I
and
don't
Trevor
either.
both in a similar. They're like they were put in one spots, but are actually twos.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying Chark is a one, but he's put up that number when put
But I
in that
mean,
spot.
what other receiver at 32 would you put in for a number one receiver? There isn't one unless Christian Watson.
Yeah, I mean, I think
available.
Sky Moore is a fantastic receiver, but I think he's a number two. He's a high-level slot. I don't know if he wins on the outside consistently enough.
I think he's more of a number one than what Detroit has right now.
Well, I mean, I think Sky Moore is better. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, Amon-Ra fucking showed me something that I was not expecting.
I mean, he was a beast. Like,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
the
he was
second
a
half of the
beast.
year, Amon-Ra St. Brown was a beast.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, fellas. Well, that wraps up our draft.
It sure shit does. It was, man, this was a good fucking time.
Yeah, well,
I did.
I had a
What
ton
the
of
hell?
fun. What is happening? What are we doing with the camera?
He's getting a call. It's cool.
Oh, okay.
Keep talking.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We did one last week, and I'm glad we got to do another one this week with you guys. It's been too long since we've seen you, since we've talked to you. It's actually the first time you guys have been on since Evo has been on the show.
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And was this at least a slightly different than what you did last week?
Yeah, there's some differences,
yeah.
some changes for sure.
Did we throw a monkey wrench in it? That's what kind of.
What
Well,
I
like
loved
to
was the back and forth and the argumenting, because we had there was a lot of agreements last week where I mean we're good with agreeing with each other. At the same time, I'm totally good with a little fucking ruckus going on.
I'm still
which
pissed
was
about that
fantastic.
number 2 pick.
And look,
I'm still pissed about it.
hey, it might happen. It might happen, but
I know
but-
it might happen just because
Nope.
it's Detroit Lions, but I'm still pissed about it.
Hey,
And
I'm just looking at it as what I think Detroit could possibly do.
Well,
I mean,
you should have went with like a 4th round talent.
what a Trayvon Walker or something. He had a
But,
4th round talent, by the way.
hey, not to disparage the guys that we had on our last mock draft, but they're not the most football-centric guys that are paying attention to what's going on in the league and stuff like that. So it's real nice to have some guys that actually know what's happening in the league, some of the finer things that are happening behind the scenes and schemes that teams run and stuff like that. It's real nice to have that on here. So I really appreciate you guys coming on and helping us out do this mock draft.
Oh, we had a fantastic time, guys.
You definitely made me think. Like, I mean, just the Cowboys pick alone, like, I'm sitting over here going, oh my God. I don't know which one to go with. Like, I don't know if I've ever done a mock draft where I didn't know where to go with Dallas. Like,
Real quick, Mike, since we didn't get a pick in the first round with the Browns, what position do you think the Browns picked with their second overall pick, with their second round
Well,
pick?
you know who wasn't picked in the first round, and I'm very happy he fell?
Who?
Sky Moore.
Oh, God. How did I know you were going to say that? Would you like to see Sky Moore on the Browns?
Yes, absolutely. I think he is a fantastic replacement for Jarvis if we don't re-sign him. He works really good with fucking blanking again. Who was the receiver that we signed from Dallas? Or we traded for?
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. I think he fits really well with Amari Cooper. If it's not that, it's the defensive end Jackson out of USC.
I've seen Jackson going there. What about Travis Jones, defensive tackle out of UConn? He's a big boy. I think.
Okay, so I have seen that. I don't dislike Travis Jones. I just don't.
But
I
you
don't
want a
necessarily
different player.
want that. I want an impact player, and he's not an impact player. A defensive tackle in the second round is not an impact guy.
All right,
an impact guy if we are going to go.
So a
after
defensive tackle that takes on two other blockers and frees up a
He's
linebacker.
not that guy,
or a
though.
defensive end.
He's not that guy.
I don't know if he is.
I don't know. I think he could become that guy.
But is he that guy right now? Because
Right
with that
now,
division, that's
no,
what you
he's
need,
not
is that guy
Devonta
right
Wyatt.
now.
No, he's not Jordan Davis, but he could potentially be
Like in that division, you need that guy right now.
No, so
You
so
need
the
that
guys
guy to
think
come in right now.
I think the guy that makes an impact right now is a Sky Moore or a Jackson, opposite of Myles Garrett, just because he's so raw as a pass rusher. If he gets in a NFL locker room, opposite of a world-class pass rusher, he makes immediate impact. That's what I want, because that's where the Browns are at. We're going Super Bowl or bust in the next 5 years with the trade of Deshaun Watson.
And that's what we should be looking at.
So,
I mean, I don't know where I go as Cleveland, but I do agree. You need that guy right now.
It's got to be a defensive end or defensive tackle, in my opinion. I mean, I love the wide receiver depth in this draft. So, like, I see wide receivers and like the first 4 rounds that could contribute right away.
So my question is, who's the trade candidates here?
I think that
I think one of the
Detroit is
Kansas
one.
City picks.
What about the Saints? Do you guys see the Saints maybe packaging up a deal to move up to draft a quarterback? I mean, they do got 2
Possibly.
first-rounders now.
I mean, they already did the trade to get the Eagles pick. If they're just trying to get a higher pick and then to spin it back again and throw it up further, that's possible. But
guess
I
that's
feel
possible.
like after Malik Willis, I think that they're probably going to have their choice of who they want to go for.
Who's the candidate to go down?
To trade back.
I can see Jacksonville going down from 1. I can see basically anybody in the top 5.
Ooh, you think Jacksonville goes down from 1?
I can see Detroit going down from 2.
I could see Detroit going down from 2.
I can see New York and
Are they sold
the Giants
on
or the
Hutchinson
Jets going down
enough
from
to
4
go
or 5.
I don't know about either of the New York teams going
Probably
down.
any of those teams that have 2 first-round picks probably are willing to trade back and acquire more capital, because the meat of this draft is really rounds 2 through 5. There's this first round, there's good players, but there's nothing insane in the first round. So with that meat of the draft really being in rounds 2 through 5, you have the chance to get a lot of depth players and some fringe starters in those rounds. So if you're able to have 2 first-round picks, go out and get yourself a starter with one of them, and then trade back with the second one. Get yourself some more in the middle rounds of this draft.
Can y'all still see the draft?
Yes, I can actually pull that up for us here.
I love this Jameson Williams pick. Like, I almost believe that might
I'll
be
be
the
right
pick
back.
of the first round. Like,
I don't think it's one that the Vikings fans are expecting. I think that we're expecting to possibly get a receiver somewhere in the middle rounds. But if one of Sauce Gardner or Stingley,
to Seattle.
Yeah, if Sauce or Stingley isn't there, it's going to be tough, I think, to take a cornerback in that spot. We could go with the defensive line. I've heard Jordan Davis being floated around a little bit for the Vikings, but I think at that point you got to go with some explosive offensive talent, even though we're
I
all
also
right
like
on
Drake
offense.
London with Washington as well.
as much as I'm being a homer, the Devin Lloyd pick to Philly just makes too much sense to me. The Drake London pick, yeah, I like it.
But
I'm
hey,
really surprised N'Kobe Dean went as late as he did.
yeah. And look, I like Zion Johnson for your Cowboys too. I know you said you struggled with that pick, but like I said, I think that he's the
I
best.
just struggled between which interior lineman to take.
Well, you didn't.
I don't
see
think you
Tyler
go-
Linderbaum either.
No, but I don't think you go wrong with either one of them.
True.
No,
Those
I
are-
knew Linderbaum was there, but
Those are set it and forget it.
Just-
Solid offensive linemen for the next
Yeah.
5 to 10 years. Either one of
Yeah,
them is
so-
super solid.
I mean, it just depends on if you want to replace left guard or if you want to replace center. For me, it's just as much as I like the upside of Linderbaum, I think Zion's just a little bit more secure of a pick.
Yeah, that's and you guys. I mean, your center is aging, but he's still playing, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Linderbaum, I don't think has any positional flexibility. He's got short arms, so he's not going to be able to transition to
it's
play
center
guard.
or nothing. Like,
Yeah. So for right now, this year, Zion Johnson goes out there and starts. If you get Linderbaum, you're maybe able to transition your center over to a guard spot and have Linderbaum start for you this year, but you're moving a positional player that already knows what he's doing there at center, whereas Zion Johnson is just immediate insert, fills a need.
I don't know. I think
I'm just still trying to find the trade back candidates.
there'd be some.
There was one pick that I really thought was trading back.
Shit.
Well,
My
fuck,
bad.
you done fucked it all
My
up.
bad. Oh well.
Whew.
All right,
Sorry,
man.
boys.
Peace out.
I've been dying. So I had like multiple energy drinks and multiple beers. I got diabetic grandma bladder going on right now.
No, I'm over here shaking my legs like I gotta pee bad. Like,
I haven't gotten up once yet. I'm holding it like a camel, but I almost brought out the piss jug.
Yeah, piss jugs all around. All right, boys. So thank you for joining us. It was fantastic to have you guys on. We're definitely gonna have to do it again.
I had a ball.
You guys are fantastic. Everybody who tuned in, thank you guys. Everybody who left comments, you guys rock. So for me and Evo, this is the Lineman Lounge. Thank you very much.
Let the guys know where can we see
know,
Big Men Juice.
You can catch us on Twitter at the Cheapseats Pod 1. If you do not want replied back to, and if you don't want the smoke, do not follow that account. I promise you. You can catch us on TikTok at the Cheapseats Pod. You can catch me on TikTok if you want to find out more about Big Man Juice. On Bluegrass_Beard. You can find us on Facebook at
The Cheapseats Podcast. And on TikTok at the Cheapseats Pod.
I done said that one. I wish you'd pay attention when I talk. I done said all those. I really wish you'd pay attention.
But y'all can listen to us on Spotify or any of your major platforms that you.
Everything but iHeartRadio.
Yeah, everything but iHeartRadio, pretty much. So give us a listen.
Yeah, and those guys are fantastic. They do a great job. When college basketball season was going on, you guys were fucking fantastic. Loved.
I don't know about all that.
Well, I know how you guys are about Kentucky.
No,
that's how I am.
Juice is all
At least
about
the juice
Kentucky.
is about Kentucky.
So
Yeah,
it's
these
college
guys are
basketball is my
fantastic.
realm. You want to do college football? It's his realm. I mean, it is what it is. We kind of play off each other a lot,
Absolutely.
depending on the sport.
Love the back and forth for sure.
It's fantastic.
Oh,
You guys do
you're
a
gonna
great
get
job.
that. I'm about to say that number 2 pick. We're gonna talk about that next week. 'Cause
Oh, I bet.
I'm still gonna be salty about that number 2 pick.
Hey, I had to
How?
You know what's gonna be crazy?
I don't
is
give
that-
a damn.
I had to create
We have
some
said all fucking year there's not a top 10 quarterback in this draft, and your ass goes and takes one in the top
Hey.
and 2.
I reserve the right to change my mind at any given.
Boys,
You reserve your right to be a dumbass at any point.
Hey, I tell you what,
reserve your right to
if that happens, if it goes down, the next
You
day
owe me
we
a
gotta have
six-pack.
we're all back together. We're doing another show breaking down how the fuck that pick happened.
Emergency
I'm in.
recap.
Emergency
I'm in.
recap.
I will
Absolutely.
be live on TikTok during the draft, just like I was last year. Like, more than welcome.
Ooh, are we doing anything?
We're
Bluegrass
2 weeks away,
_Beard.
guys.
We got to talk about that. We got to
Yeah,
figure it
I
out.
promise
that.
you,
Yeah.
I'm all in on it. Like, I will be live, Bluegrass_Beard, and I will bash the absolute hell out of that pick if it happens.
I feel like it's starting to become like a very big opportunity. Big
That's
thing.
possible.
And I will be drinking my 6-pack all the way to the fucking bank, bitches.
You can
Yeah,
drink it all you
I mean,
want.
Juice, you might owe him some fucking beers, bro.
I mean, I might. And
You already do.
I paid you a lot of fucking 6-packs. Like,
And you're still down. Every
Still
bet we
down.
make, I win, fucker.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for coming on. Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you guys
This
so
has
much
been,
for having us on.
yeah, absolutely.
It was fantastic.
Hey, do either one of y'all do bourbon?
Oh, hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah, both of us.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, look here. So, very old Barton. It's out of Kentucky. It's literally here in the state. It's like $9 for a fifth of this,
Very
and
old
it is
Barton.
absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah, one of the cheapest, but one of the most underrated bourbons.
Fantastic bourbon. Like, you cannot beat it.
$10.
Well, I'm actually going to be out that way here in the next couple of weeks, so I might try to find me some very old Barton.
You can't beat it as far as bourbon.
It might be a little more expensive in Ohio though.
Maybe,
That's
but
okay.
I mean, all you gotta do is drop below the line as you're traveling through. Like, you
Hey,
can't.
I'm fine with that. If I can find good whiskeys, good bourbons, I'm all in about it. Don't get me wrong. I got a man bun and I drink fucking White Claws every once in a while. But I will absolutely sit here and I'll have a glass of scotch or a glass of bourbon because I'm a man of many cultures. And
I like it.
I'll drink it all. If it's got liquor and it tastes good, I'm about it.
I like it.
Damn right.
Alrighty.
All right, boys. We're going to get the fuck out of here. Thank you guys so much. You guys can catch Big Man and Juice on social medias and anywhere on the spaces that's, on places where you can listen to podcasts at Cheapseats Podcast. I'm Mike. Nope, that way. That's Evo. And we're going to get the fuck out of here. Thank you for listening. We'll be back fairly soon, probably about a week and a half because I gotta drive. But you guys rock. We love you. See you.
Later.
Welcome to the Lineman Lounge, hosted by Mike and Evo, calling their shots and being outlandish.
Breaking news from the Lineman Lounge. My fantasy football team just took a huge fucking hit. And that also makes it even more likely that the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell is about to be your starter. Latavius Murray is going to go there as well. Jesus, fuck my ass.
Get ready for the thickest podcast in the game. Coming to you from Hangar 6, where sleeves are optional. Strap in.